Welcome, one and all, ladies and gents. Sorry, I actually did that a bit prematurely from the countdown, but we are live here to talk about The Witcher being essentially just a dead-end show, them not realizing it, and that obviously being utterly hysterical. We've got some Indiana Jones 5 news, maybe not news, rumors, which are just hilarious to kind of watch play out. And of course, Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Cringe is still going, and they're still lambasting everyone because why wouldn't they, I guess? And a whole host of other bits and pieces. As always, today, we've got a lovely panel today, actually. We've got my co-host, Paulie, from the Latino Slant. How you doing?
Good, brother. Can we do two things? Can we not say Lord of the Rings and just say Rings of Power?
Yeah, true.
I
It's not
mean,
strictly speaking Lord of the Rings, is it? We're just the cringe of
and
power. We'll call it that.
yeah, my second thing I want to do is thank any of you guys that came over to our puppy fundraiser for our animal rescue shelters today. So awesome. You can still keep donating, and
Mm.
if you do want to, I will throw a
Put it
link
in the
in
chat
the
now.
chat.
Put it in the chat.
And thank you, everyone. So yeah, I'm happy to be
So,
here.
so what that is, ladies and gents, obviously, just briefly, it's basically a fundraiser for like an animal rescue. Animals are wholly innocent little creatures, and we should always look out for them. So, Paulie will chuck that over on the chat. If you want to donate, please do. Just put reference point from the slant, not me, but from the slant, and then we'll know obviously that you guys did that as well. Anyway, second of all, we got Andre from Midnight's Edge fame. How you doing, buddy?
Greetings, everyone. I'm doing awesome. Thanks for having me again.
Thank you for joining, good sir. And we also have our regular Thursday co-host Nick from the Echo Base Network. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good. Like I told you guys before the stream started,
Set up a
I'm
rig.
working on reloading my entire system with everything. It's been a kind of a nightmare, but I'm good to go, and I'm made sure I got everything working that I needed for work and to be able to do streams and video editing. So
Madness stuff, absolute
yeah.
madness. Heck, I remember because I built this. I'm not even on the rig that I actually had built. I'm on a bloody laptop because for some weird reason. Well, I mean, I built it, didn't I? So there's got to be something that didn't work. So like, I built this rig, great rig, top of the range graphics card. Everything works great, but just doesn't.
Oh, he
Well,
he froze, so it would appear to not work that great.
hopefully he'll be back in less than
Hopefully,
30
your rig
seconds.
that you're working on is working better than his. Oh, there we
Yeah.
go. You're back
Oh,
again.
there he is.
You couldn't have better timing for that, could you? You really couldn't. That's comedic
Oh,
timing at its.
I was
Oh,
on
that's
mute.
perfection.
You were saying, Nate?
For fuck's sake. Anyway, ladies and gents, everyone's channel. Everyone's channel is linked down below in the description box. Please do go and check them out. If you want to support this stream, support the channel, support what we do here, please do chuck in the super chat function. It's there. Use it if you want. And also a great way to join in the conversation. We have a super chat already from Blair de Blair for $10 and says they can't stop making these series because it would be an admission of failure. Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting point, isn't it? I mean, that, obviously, thank you so much for the $10, Blair. But I think this is
I think what he meant to say is that this is a great jumping in point to The Witcher on Netflix. Was I close?
We got bad weather here, so I'm going to put it down to that.
I was gonna say, what's going on? Your feed is like from Mexico or something, man.
No, we got bad weather here in the UK, so I'm going to put it down like real bad, like wind and rain at the moment. Torrential rains, but anyway, whatever. We'll shuffle this
All
over
right,
a bit
all right.
Motherfucker. But yeah, I'm so bloody for this. Gonna piss me off. Let me find my flow again. What are we talking about? So your question is actually predicated on the fact that they know, that they're actually doing something wrong, which I don't think that they are. And this goes to something we're going to show you in a minute, which is an Instagram post, which is just completely tone deaf. But the Witcher themselves, I don't think they know. I don't think they think anything that they're doing is wrong. I mean, Andre.
I agree, because from their point of view, they have this really stupid, problematic source material. From there, it's going to be problematic because it's not diverse enough. It has too many toxic people. It's too centered on the Witcher himself, who's a male, and not enough on the women. Although they do get a lot of page time in the books. But still, I think that they genuinely, like all other narcissists we see working in Hollywood, they genuinely have the mindset that they're fixing this. They're taking something problematic and they're making it unproblematic. And they're taking something that was inaccessible and they're making it accessible to modern audiences. I really think that they see themselves that way, as a mix of Batman and Jesus, and they are so completely and utterly warped.
Batman and Jesus.
Yeah, like they're out there to save the world, one franchise at a time. So no, I don't think that they see themselves as mucked up, and I think that honestly they were glad to see Henry Cavill leave. Because I don't see any kind of regret at all. I think that they genuinely think that, oh, but we did the bait and switch. People may have come for The Witcher and for Henry Cavill, but now they're here for the ladies. And Henry Cavill, he was just going to stand there in the background. And we can have Liam Hemsworth stand in the background every single bit as well as Henry Cavill could. And no one is going to mind because he's no longer the focus of the stories. I really think that they feel that way, and they're shocked and horrified that people aren't excited about this diverse and inclusive thing that they're doing to the franchise.
I can't, Batman and Jesus.
I mean,
Jesus, I can't get over that. Just that alone.
Well,
Batman
it's
and Jesus.
it's
I love
an
it.
apt description, don't you think? These people, they genuinely see themselves as a mix of Batman and Jesus on a mission to save the world with the religious connotations, because these are pure ideologues. Like they're the lunatics running the asylum.
I'm
So I
just
think
getting
that they
caught
are.
up right now.
Yeah, so
Wow.
Paulie, so what we're talking about here is actually, I'll load your screen now, Paulie. And this is the showrunner's Instagram, and it is a shit show of comments.
First, I
and
have
it
to
is-
ask, how old are those people? How old are they? Because I have to
30s.
say, that to me, I just
Like-
look at this picture and I see these are people who have a really hard time accepting the fact that they're in their 50s and no longer
Okay.
in their teens.
Yeah.
They so desperately try to act like, oh, look at us, look how hip and cool we are, with the gang
Yeah.
symbols and everything.
Right.
And I see a
I
person
could
like
see
that, and I decide, okay, if I saw him, I was like, okay, tell me everything that you are involved with, so I know to stay the hell away from it.
Actively avoid.
Yeah.
So this is. I mean, you are right. Like they look out of their depth. You know, they look like someone trying to relive their youth.
You should put this picture right here. That's something that you should put in Urban Dictionary under the listing, trying too hard.
Oh,
You guys are brutal.
I think fair. I think fair is the word there.
They're asking
Yeah.
for it. I mean, they put themselves up. I mean, I don't want to bully someone, but at some point, like they have to assess their own
I don't want to
capability here.
Not a bully
Well,
someone, but I'm gonna.
I think the bullying part just comes. It just comes from the comments that are there.
One
And what
shouldn't victim shame, but they ask for it with pictures like that.
Okay, all right. Well, listen, to me, it's a candid shot. It's like, hey, take a photo. All right, what's up? Peace. I mean, that's like the dumbest thing anyone does. So you're right.
Yeah.
But I don't care
And
about
it gets
that
dumber with
picture.
age.
Okay, but Andre, for me, what's telling are these comments and how brutal they are. And then
Oh, mate.
Take
They're
us through it.
unreal.
They locked the comments 11 hours ago.
Hmm.
I don't know if you noticed
Did
that.
they?
Oh,
Yeah, dude.
No.
so
Look,
they
okay,
were
look
they
at
were
this.
getting tired of the backlash.
Look at this.
They
13 hours
weren't.
ago.
They
Okay,
weren't.
12.
They weren't locked.
12.
They weren't locked. That's so gold. That's hilarious.
Now you can reply to existing comments, right?
So you
11,
can't.
12.
But it says add comment. Can you not add a comment?
Well, all I'm saying is, look, all of a sudden it ends. All of a sudden
I
it
don't
ends.
know. Well, no, isn't that? No,
Okay,
you
let
got
me
to
try
press
to.
plus. I think you can
Oh, I
do it
gotta.
if you press plus.
My.
Oh,
You're
God,
right.
Paulie.
I don't
God,
know.
showing your
I don't
age
know
here,
That's
man.
Instagram.
fake news, Paulie. Fake
Oh,
news.
Paulie. Spreading
But
misinformation.
we had fun. Come on, I was having fun.
Oh,
But
dear.
still,
No, but
that just means there's more shitty.
Oh, it's awful. The comments are
Yeah.
awful.
comments.
They're
here.
deserved, but they are awful.
The comments here are satisfying.
Well, I will say that they are cathartic because these are the people that destroyed The Witcher. And I know that the first season has quite a few fans. I'm not. I thought the first season was damn near unwatchable, and I didn't even get into season
Half of
2.
it was, yeah.
And I don't get why anyone would want to watch season 3, knowing that that is where Henry Cavill leaves, and then you have this Blood Origin series coming, and that's the one they're promoting here, right? Talking
Yeah.
about how
Yeah.
they're all this
So-
fan fiction that isn't
Right.
even based on either books or games.
This
Yeah,
is
so
this is the next thing. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the thing. Is
Spotlight.
that it's the picture itself is promoting the fact that, and this is how truly out of touch they actually are, right? And this perfectly encapsulates it, because you've got
Who
the
are these people?
showrunner. We've got the showrunner and some pleb posting a picture,
Right.
and the caption is celebrating, like, giving Blood Origin to the press, and yet
No, this is
every fan
right.
is there commenting, going, "You fucked up."
Yeah. Well,
So
what
you
she
see,
says
like, the
here.
juxtaposition between the two of them, like, it's
Right.
it's a perfect encapsulation of just how disconnected these people truly are from what, you know, the source material and the fan base that they're actually trying to you know, push forward and promote. They're so happy with this junk, and they're like, yeah, the press have got it, but the people that they should be worried about are the ones in the comments going, yeah, you done fucked up here. Like, you messed up big time. What a great representation just before our eyes.
Yeah, is it just me, or does it seem like everybody in Hollywood is making projects and content for each other and not for the audience and the fans? It's like
a
they're all
circle
just
jerk.
making it for each other. You know,
Yeah.
they don't care about the backlash, the fans, you know, whatever. They're making it for each other. They're checking off all the boxes, doing whatever woke identity politic nonsense they want to do to make them virtue signal and make themselves to look to be morally superior than everybody else. And this is what we end up with. It's a fucking joke.
They're making it for someone else as well. They're making it for their imagined audience.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
For the
Great
people
point.
that for the Twitter stans, who half of which were bots. This is who they're making it for, an imagined audience that doesn't exist in reality. And this would be the same imaginary audience that loves the Star Wars sequel trilogy. It would be the same imaginary audience that just loves Alex Kurtzman's Star Trek. It would be the same imaginary audience that loves Chibnall's Doctor Who.
Oh,
I
there's
mean, of
another
course,
photo.
there is an audience, but it's 12 people.
You have another photo. It's a 2-in-1. It's a twofer.
Oh, I did not know that. That's hilarious.
There you go.
Yeah. It's the dude showing what a safe beta male soy boy he is, as Mike no doubt would have called him.
He should have come out and taken a picture of him playing saxophone or something. I heard that works well.
Well, can you zoom in and read out some of those comments, Paulie?
Sure. Let me.
Because they're just
How's that?
hilarious.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Just read some of them out, buddy.
I'm back to playing the games. F the show. Did not even CDPR did us this dirty. Not even CDPR did us this dirty. Proud of destroying a series because you hired inept woke writers? Here's a good one. Don't call that Witcher effing bullshit.
Then this is a good one. This is a good one. Read that one.
Okay, here we go. And it's got 41 likes as well. You and the guy in the photo are probably the only people who are looking forward to this show. I don't know if you noticed, but there are 99,000 dislikes under the latest Blood Origin trailer. Witcher fans are
Oh,
disappointed.
Jesus.
Witcher fans are sick of their favorite story being butchered.
It's
When
more
will
than
you guys
99,000 now, by the way. It's over 100.
Oh my God. Yeah, this is 12 hours ago. When will you guys finally understand that we want a faithful adaptation and not fan fiction? If you want to make your own story, then make your own original series and leave the Witcher franchise alone.
Yeah. Well
Oh,
said
man.
there, for sure.
So funny.
Wow. Wow. Let's go some more. We're not proud. Bring back Henry.
This is
Oh,
the thing. It's just so.
whoops.
It's just.
Oh, sorry.
It's just so resounding. The sort of responses are just quite literally Henry this, Henry that, Henry. You did this. You did this. This is fan fiction. You fudged it up. There's some specifically pointing out the writers as well, saying, "Oh, are these? You know, is this one of the writers that hated the source material and things like that?" It's like, God damn.
This one got
The answer
yeah.
would be yes.
This one got 77 likes. Do you guys even care about the comments appearing since season 2? Or you just check your payroll accounts and treat fans' complaints as irrelevant? It looks like you're having a lot of fun there.
Yeah. I don't think Henry Cavill was happy with this series either. I think that's one of the reasons he decided to
Obviously.
bow out and move on to something else.
And I think, I mean, that they would do this thing without him, just pull a prequel set 1,000 years earlier, literally out of their buttholes,
Yeah.
because that's where this thing came from. And just decided, hey, we need some more episodes, and we don't need you, Cavill, because you're white and male and problematic. So we're going to do this diverse thing instead. Fans are going to love it. Yeah, I'm not so sure, and I'm not so sure Netflix is going to love it either. And really, if Netflix still has a way out, they need to take it, because however many seasons they are investing going forward without Cavill, I mean, they're not seeing that the production money spent on that, they're not going to be seeing again.
Crafty Professor says season 2 is bad enough. 3 will be the same or worse. With Henry Cavill leaving, and who can blame him, what is there to celebrate or be proud of? Are you totally out of touch but won't be once you see the new ratings and viewership or lack thereof?
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? I mean, it is. I love the fact that this photo is the exact representation of just how like warped they really are of themselves. Posting this picture so self-assured as well, but like, yeah, the press are gonna love it. It's like, whilst everyone else is like, you fucked it, you wrecked it now. It's
But
brilliant.
you know, that too.
I mean, how much of a disconnect do you got to have to be this, you know, proud of what you're creating when everything it's like you're not seeing the burning city around you, you know?
But they're
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the epitome of the let them eat cake attitude. They are completely inside of a bubble. I mean, I'm sure this is their LA studio, and they think that the rest of the world is like that. They're in a bubble where everyone is giving them high fives and praising them for the important ideological work they have done. And this is what they genuinely believe. And then they probably think that it's just like 2, 3 people out there on Twitter and YouTube land who don't like this. But our huge imagined audience, they all love this. I mean, we are such a ratings hit with Netflix. Yeah, maybe that had more to do with the brand that you hate and Henry Cavill than your actual writing. And without Henry Cavill, let's see how long that lasts. Let's see how the ratings are going to be.
Damn.
I mean, who else is seeing this though? That's involved in this production, like someone that would be that would read these comments and maybe an assistant and get back to an executive at Netflix saying, "Hey, this isn't good."
Yeah.
We
Because
think they have a
these
PR department as well, right?
these
Like,
comments
surely.
are up. I mean, these are so many, negative comments.
You think like
as they should
Netflix?
be.
Yeah, I mean, I 100% they should be, but you'd also think Netflix would be monitoring the trailer page on YouTube, and the trailer page is exactly the same.
Uh-huh.
The trailer for Blood Origin is exactly the same.
Mhm.
It's incredibly negative, and as well, like no one's really interested in it. So the amount of views are not that high for the length of time that it's been out. So
Yeah.
that matters. But the comments, again, incredibly
I mean,
negative comments.
this is like prolific. This is
Yeah.
probably reading these is probably going to be more enjoyable than watching the new season.
Oh, it's so funny.
Yeah.
Let me. I was going to load up the page for
Okay.
this because again, this is just like
I was going to say,
insane.
is this any good? Michelle Yeoh is in it?
This is the thing, isn't it? Like she is good, but I mean, and it's not
It
her
only
fault.
means Star Trek Discovery all over again.
Oh, where are the comments? I zoomed in trying to get the comments.
Are you and Andre are really well versed in The Witcher?
No, I'm not at all.
Moderately.
Yeah. I'm not either.
Because I liked half of the season 1, and that was about
Yeah,
it.
that would be the half that was from the books. That's what you liked then.
Yeah.
And then they deviated from it. And then they just deviated more and more and more as they went from there.
Well, I mean, this alone, like this isn't even the Witcher universe. You've got you left the comment section on. So brave, so stunning. What on earth has this got to do with The Witcher? Sad to see, because again, people know that it's got nothing to do with The Witcher. It's completely fabricated. This is going to suck. I'd rather pass a kidney stone. Watch more of this crap. Somebody wrong with this. I hate you people for butchering The Witcher. More ridiculous feminist and identity politics garbage. Shocking. Blah blah blah. This has the same Witcher vibe as the Rings of Power. Has Tolkien vibes. Why watch something written by people that hate the source material? And again, this is the thing. Lots of people are saying this. Horrible. Stop making shows to please a small but very loud minority. You don't even watch the show anyway. Listen to the real fans. You're ruining the opportunity to run one of the most popular shows ever and make lots of money. 1 hour ago was 38,000 likes, 104 dislikes. It just keeps going up and up and up. Thanks for ruining The Witcher. So you'd think as well, right? You'd think that they would know this. You'd think that they would be keeping tabs on it, but apparently not. Apparently not at all. Andre, I know you need to dip out in 50 minutes or so. So do you want to? Do you have anything else specifically to say about this, The Witcher itself? I read that as 5 minutes, Andre. So, or has he dropped out now for 15 minutes? He's worded that really weirdly in the private chat.
Yeah.
Maybe he just stepped away now for 15 minutes and he's coming back.
He'll be back. Yeah.
Ah!
Is he coming back?
Rage. I'm gonna rage here.
Your rage day.
Well, anyway, this has messed up the flow of the stream. Paulie, I donated to Scars, but it didn't let me tell them who donated and that it came from you, just as an FYI.
Okay, I'll send a note. Thank you.
$200. So there you go. They got some money.
Wow, thank you.
That's
Thank you so much. At least
I can do. Well, the thing I thought was like, it's like the amount that super chats. I thought I'd just donate super chats. Basically, was what I'd do. Good way of doing it.
My dude,
and and animals deserve it as well. Like, animals are entirely 100%. Innocent. You have to.
Wow.
You have to look after animals. They're wholly innocent little creatures. Speaking of which, story time for H year. I was awake at 5 o'clock today because I'm like, wake up.
Well, I think he froze again, Paulie.
Yeah, it's not his day. So basically, he's had quite a day, guys, of PT.
Bad
So
weather in the area.
he's
You
got
know.
Like I say,
his body's a
my
wreck.
signal,
Oh, he's back.
my
He's back.
my signal strength is actually really good as well. So I'm really
Froze
shocked by
H.
this.
Mm.
I don't get it.
You know
Anyway,
what's funny is I actually
this isn't funny.
I was supposed to leave in about an hour as well, but I
Oh
didn't
my
have the heart.
god!
So I'm staying. I'm
Everyone's
staying.
fucking leaving.
And Undoomed,
Anyway,
I owe Undoomed a big one.
so story time. Let me. I'm going to move my. I've got good signal, so I don't really understand what's going on with the internet. I'm putting it down to. I'm putting it down to the actual internet dipping out because the signal on the Wi-Fi is strong. So bit weird by that, but never mind. Anyway, so story time with Doggo here today. I wake up at 5 a.m. I'm like, why am I awake? I'm really confused. You know when you wake up and you're like, why am I awake? This is odd. I shouldn't be awake. But there must be a reason why I'm awake. And so I'm sat there in bed and I'm like, and I hear something. I'm like, what the fuck is that? That's a weird sound. And so I'm like, I'm looking for where Jasper is, because Jasper, my little dog, for anyone that doesn't know, he sleeps on my bed. And I'm like, where's my dog? What's he doing? And I hear it again. It's like, I'm like, what's he doing? And he's throwing up. He's obviously eating something bad. So he's throwing up on my stairs, which has got fresh, brand new carpet down.
Ugh,
I
that's
know.
the worst. I got two dogs, and one of them throws up. Not all the
good.
time, but every once in a while, like on his blankets, on his bed, on the
Yeah.
couch, and it's
Yeah.
oh, I hate cleaning it up.
Well, there's a habit of staining as well. But anyway, so this little dog, he's so cute, little tiny little dog, and he's like shaking in the corner. And he's he's vomited before. I've never told him off because it's not his fault. You don't tell a dog off for that. It's not their fault. Because obviously, like just like an adult, you wouldn't, or a kid, you wouldn't tell a kid off for throwing up because you're like, why are you? Like, it's not their fault, right? They're just throwing up. So anyway, so pick him up, get him in bed, and clean up all the crap, obviously all the vomit and stuff. And I sat there in bed. I'm like, oh, brilliant! I can go back to sleep because it's 5 a.m. I don't want to be awake at 5 a.m. obviously. And this is just to tell you about why my day is just going from good to worse and worse to bad or whatever. And then he's next to me and he's cuddling in and stuff, and I just hear these almighty rumbles from his tummy, and he starts licking his lips. I'm like, you're gonna fucking vomit again, aren't you, mate?
Oh,
You're gonna vomit again in bed. So I'm there, I'm just like awake, and I'm just like monitoring him or watching, like turn the light on. I'm just sat there like, It's just wait and see what happens. Got like tissue down and everything like this. Anyway, he doesn't throw up. I'm awake again now for like another 2 hours. It's like 7 o'clock. I'm like absolutely shattered. I'm like, oh, kill me now. And that's my day basically. So I've been awake since like 5 o'clock. It's great. Anyway, okay. We get some super chats for seeing as my stupid internet keeps messing up the flow.
Right.
It's gonna be one of them days. Jason Gallagher sent 10 something. I don't know what that is. But Jason says, you mentioned how Forrest Whitaker should be in more things. He was brilliant in The Shield, one of my all-time favorite series. Andor was great. I haven't seen The Shield, actually. But I love Andor, unashamedly. I don't give a shit. It's great. And Forrest Whitaker is insane as an actor. He's so bloody good. And he does need to be in more things. Because he owns it as that Saw Gerrera character. I just owns it. Absolutely owns it.
I've been working on my video for the last 3 episodes, 9 through 11. I cannot wait to talk about it. I put up those last 3 hours of Star Wars, of Andor, up against any Star Wars in a long time. I mean, I am just blown away by everything going on in that show.
So have you seen the last episode?
Yeah. Well, Daughters of Pharaoh.
Woohoo!
I wish I felt like you guys did.
Sorry, it's so good.
It's all right.
Good. I love it.
Right. See, we don't hate everything, guys.
No, we love the things people hate.
Yeah,
and we do love things that people hate.
Seems to be that, and hate the things people love.
But yes, Forrest is a nutball in that show, man.
But
Yeah,
he's just. Oh, no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say this last episode was one of the better episodes of the series for sure. I still fucking despise and hate that ship with the lightsabers coming out of the side.
Well,
Like,
I
oh
love
my
it. I think
god,
it's great.
oh I
think
hate it.
What?
Oh I
Nah, it's
hate it.
great.
What a player hater, dude.
Oh, I think
You're a
it's
player-
so
You're a
dumb.
player hater. That guy is
Why? Why do you
Lupin
think
is
it's dumb?
stealth.
Like
And
lightsabers on ships. Like
bro.
for me personally, I know there's people out there that like it. I think it's dumb.
I listen. I was floored, not just by that, but everything he was up to all the way leading up to that. Because you're like,
Well,
what is he
all
doing?
those little bits that dipped out of the
Dude,
back,
yeah, he
and
destroys
the tractor beam
satellite.
pulls them
Come on,
into
Nick.
the satellite.
Yeah, I was
Come
like,
on.
man, the Falcon should have had that freaking weapon when it was getting sucked in by the Death Star in episode 4. Where was that technology
Bro,
then?
we
You know,
just can't be happy, huh, Nick? You can't
No,
be happy.
no,
Huh.
there's aspects of it that I like that I'm fine. Hey, Mando season 2, the end, man. I was freaking screaming
Yeah, but
at the
that's
top of
still
the mountain.
What
for that.
what do we think about Luthen maybe being a Force user then?
I think we're gonna find out that he probably is. He's
He
probably
definitely
one of
is.
my favorite characters in the show. With the
He's
most
so
mystery
good.
behind him, he's the most interesting character.
They should have made this show about him.
Yeah.
They should have.
I don't.
think it would have got more
I
viewers.
don't really care about Andor at all. But,
Whatever, dude. You're
But-
wrong. Get
but
him out of here. Get him
but
out.
I'm saying I don't. Me personally, I
Please.
don't care about Andor the character.
All right,
but
EBN.
Luthen, I find his character very interesting.
Well, but that whole
Well,
monologue
in the
at
episode
the end of the
before-
last episode was great.
Yeah,
The episode before at the end where he's talking to that homeboy.
yeah,
He's
it was
dressed
good.
I
in
lost
black
everything.
cloaks.
I've given up everything.
Yeah,
He's dressed in black cloaks. That speech is. I just watched that speech again. I like.
and the
Of
one Andy
course.
Serkis gave in the prison, I thought was really well done.
Bro,
Yeah.
I liked it as
bro.
well.
I mean,
Well, like I
level-
said, I
level
could
thing.
cherry pick stuff that I really liked and enjoyed out of this show.
Nick, don't you know you can't cherry pick stuff? You either have to love it or you have to hate it. Don't you know that, Nick? Come on.
I don't hate the show. I don't hate the show. I'm not I'm not in love with it as much as other people are.
Well, you know,
I get
yeah,
it from our community all the time though, so I'm fine getting it from you guys.
No, listen, I get so much shit for the stuff I like, but you know, you can't make anyone happy because I apparently I'm a misery merchant for not liking Namor, and I'm doing a bunch of coverage on it. Get out!
Apparently, I'm
of
racist
Yeah.
for not liking
That
Namor.
thing is
so
garbage.
whatever.
It is garbage.
We literally get called shills by half of our fan base and get
Nope.
called haters by the other half of our. I'm like, which one are we? Are we haters or are we shills? You know?
I have been called a Disney shill, believe it or not. I have
Oh,
been
wow.
called a Disney shill.
Yeah, we have as well. What's up, Romy?
Hi, guys. I just wanted to say thank you so much. Paul just told me about the donation, and we
Yeah.
are so grateful.
Yeah, of
That's
course.
neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, our pleasure.
Hi, Nate. Where are you shooting from?
I was going to say sunny UK, but it's not. It's raining.
What part?
He doesn't wait. He doesn't. You don't have to say.
Oh,
He doesn't
sorry.
like
Yeah.
doxing himself.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
But Nate, he's the one who donated, and so did
Thank
Nick.
you.
Yeah.
But Nate has a beautiful dog.
Oh, do you have a picture?
I have one on my phone actually. So, it's just so it doesn't look at my phone. There you go. There's my little boy.
Oh, that's
Oh.
a shmush.
Yeah,
Hi, shmush.
yeah,
I got two little teacup
Legend.
chihuahuas.
yeah,
Have you? God
Yeah.
damn.
yeah.
Yeah,
I have-
long hair,
Nice.
one long hair and one short haired.
In the next room, I have 2 Chihuahuas, a Scottish Terrier Schnauzer, and a puppy Belgian mutt mix right now. So they're all being very good.
Yeah.
If I get back in the next room for in a minute, but I just wanted to say thank you so much.
Yeah, no, you're very
And,
welcome. Yeah,
um,
always got to look after animals.
Yeah,
Always.
our pleasure.
Yeah, it's our duty.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Have a great
100%.
weekend. Thanks,
Uh-huh.
honey.
Nice,
Cheers.
You got it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nate.
Wholesome. That's good. Wholesome. Always good.
For a second, right? We're wholesome for a second.
Yeah, now we just get back to bitching about stuff.
Let's go back to bitching about shit. Nick, you're full of shit, man.
So we'll get
like
some
I
more
said,
this
I don't hate the show. I'm not a huge fan of it.
Oh dear. We'll get us some more super chats, then we'll move on to the next topic, I think.
I hated Book of Boba Fett and Kenobi. Hated those
See,
shows.
you just gotta start shit.
Dear. Al Humphreys sent a £5 super sticker. Thank you so much, my dude. Tom Workin sent a $10 super sticker. Again, thank you so much. I know there is Tom Workin. Yeah, there you go. Super chat for Tom Workins for $5 says making product for each other. An insular concept. Sad. Yeah, it's very almost circular. Insular, circular. It's just this circle jerk. Literally a circle jerk. They're all making it for one another, constantly going round and round this circle of content being created for one another. It's just oh yeah, let's do this. Yeah, that'd be great, man. It's just this room of yes men all for one another. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
I agree.
There we
It's a bubble
go.
within a bubble, pleasing the bubble people. Made by bubble people.
Ilib?
Which becomes
I don't know. I don't want to butcher your name. Which becomes Wokecher season whatever.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't see it lasting past like season 5. I don't think it's going to last to season 4. I mean, the season 4 is confirmed. We know we're getting that, but I don't think it will go past season 5. I don't think it will, because I think season 4 will have such a massive drop off from viewers, and then at that point they'll either make one more or they'll just scrap it, and that'll be it done by season 4. Mr. Luba Luba for $5 of some description says, for anyone wondering how badly Netflix has screwed up The Witcher, check out the CDPR's A Night to Remember trailer for Witcher 3. It's incredible. Yeah, I mean, they've obviously adapted a certain amount of it from the books as well, so that's not 100%, CD Projekt Red's, it's not 100% from the books either. But you're right, like, I guess, like, CD Projekt Red is an element of, like, how it could have been in terms of the show. Everything's an adaptation, isn't it, at the end of the day? So I guess they, really fucked it up. Nick, I know you need to disappear.
I got my yearly review for work, but I'm gonna actually, like Andre's doing, just stay in here, mute my mic, go take care of what I need to take care of, and then I'll come back, rejoin you guys, and finish out the show.
Perfect.
I'd be surprised if we've kicked you out. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, we don't take kindly to people just swanning in here and swanning out. Right. Not like me. You got freeze frame it, all right?
Right.
Class.
Who do you think you are, Andre?
Oh, dear.
All right, I'll see.
Good,
I'll see you guys here
luck.
shortly. All right, thanks.
All right, man. So everyone, just as a quick, sorry that I don't know what's going on with my connection tonight. I'm so sorry, guys. Just everyone in the chat. It has been solid. This is the first time that there actually has been any issues with it, as far as I'm aware. Like, it's been pretty damn good, to be honest. So I don't know why. I can only put it down to the weather, because we've had like torrential downpours. And I know my TV, which is next to the router, was actually spotty today. So I'm gonna say it's that. So soz.
Yeah. Good excuse.
Yeah,
I like that.
However, what I will say, guys, if you want to support the show, which admittedly, me freezing, maybe you don't want to, but if you do, super chats are a good way to do that. Your super chats are actually what was just donated, actually, to this animal shelter. So they do go to good causes, as well as helping to keep the lights on as well. So no super chat, please do. If not, don't worry about it. Please do check out the second channel. It's linked in the description box. It's Missed H Reviews Live Archives. Clips from this, which there should be some funny ones from this one. I'll try and put together a clip failure from this this stream. Put that up there. But that's linked down below in the description box. We do clips and things, so check that out. Before we move on to the next topic, we've got Tom Working for $5 says, haters, shills, or whatever. You're the ones with a forum. Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is the thing, loads of people always decry individuals that talk about stuff, and it's like, but you're only irritated that we have a platform to discuss it. You know, you're annoyed. You'd hear someone in the street saying it, and you wouldn't be nearly as annoyed as you are at someone with a platform discussing it. And I always find that to be one of those things. I mean, I'm sure you're the same, Paulie, right? Like, no matter how large the platform is, if you have a platform, you become like an instant, you know, it's like amplified. The hatred becomes so amplified. Like, it's just
Yeah, I
madness.
mean, literally not kidding. I mean, I even got a, a DM from an actress, a Latina actress, who's been in a lot of stuff. Why didn't you like it? Why was it so terrible? I'm like, just watch my review. I don't want to like.
Yeah, it
Twitter.
says it all in there. I'm not doing double the work, all right, love. I've
No,
said it
it's like,
already.
you know, that's just the thing, and that's really important, guys. Is this is the forum, and you know, that's it. That's it. Tom's
Yeah.
absolutely right. Absolutely right. And you know, keep their fires lit and keep supporting independent work, whatever that is, and you know, grab your hands on.
Mm.
You know, the more the merrier.
Van Helsing here says you should be cancelled. Every single one of you here on stream. Nobody needs someone who makes actual sense. I agree. Yeah, I agree. You know, logic and critical thought. Who needs that? To hell
He's
with
so
that.
right. Van Helsing is so right. I'm out of here.
Yeah, that's it. I'm done. I mean, then leave me. Oh dear. Right. That takes us on to our next topic, actually. You know, speaking of like cancel culture and logic and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power. Like, it's not over. All right, the Rings of Power is still going. They're shooting season 2 of it, so that's still going. Shooting that here now in the UK. Hopefully, I'm not frozen. Good,
Nope,
I'm not
you're good.
frozen. Shooting it here in the UK or getting ready to do that. But the actors are still yabbering on about stuff. And you know what I think is interesting about this, right? Is that with respect to this, a lot of actors now have in their contracts a limitation on what they can and can't say on social medias, right? It's something which has begun to be rolled out. Now I know this because I've got a producer friend that, you know, is dealing with lawyers that are putting these kind of contracts together for potential casts and crew. So this indicates to me that either they haven't got that in their contract, or it's so lax in their contracts that they can say what they want and it's fine. And this goes to the hate bait marketing element, because obviously they're continuing to attack Tolkien fans as racists. You'd think that this would be massively against the contract. And the thing about these contracts now are all about hitting them where it hurts, which is their wallet. It's literally, you say anything which is disparaging or could impact the show or the movie, whatever it is, we will deduct X, Y, and Z from your pay. You will incur this much X, Y, and Z. And that is a thing which is being rolled out in actors' contracts, but they're still yammering on about this nonsense. So, you know, as a bit of a background, you know, Ishmael Cruz Cordova, who played Orondir, Sophia Nomvet, who played Princess Disa, Cynthia Ade Robinson, who played Queen Regent. They spoke with Variety's Nick Vivarelli, where they were asked about a supposed racist backlash to the casting. Now, I also think they need to be prepped a bit more from these individuals that ask these kind of questions, because they shouldn't be asked. You know, if someone asks this kind of question, it's a loaded question, so you should just be like, "Oh well, I defer to the fans." Take a leaf out of Henry Cavill's book. Like, he's fantastic when it comes to loaded questions. He's always along the lines of, "Oh no, the fans know best. Like, definitely respect the fans," and blah blah blah. Very very respectful about it. But these idiots, Cruz goes, the fact that the attention was shifted towards that shows you what the power of shows like this is. The fact that it hit that nerve and that our being in it created such a response just brings attention to the greatness of fantasy, the greatness of the Lord of the Rings, and why it's actually good that we are here. It's like, okay, you could have looked at that from a different level and gone, oh, I didn't see that as racist, actually. Being a Tolkien fan, I understand that he created a world that, represented Europe at that time and was supposed to be, a myth and a legend, sort of a fairy tale fantasy for Europeans, sort of Britain as well at that time. However, I appreciate being given the chance, and I don't think anyone was saying it from a racist standpoint. He could have defended it at the end of the day, but all he's trying to do is say, "Yeah, bloody racists." What do you think, Paulie?
I think that Cruz has become first an activist and second an actor. And I see post after post, this is just the same thing. And, honestly, Tenoch Huerta is like that as well. For me, Tenoch gets a pass just for me as far as his acting work, because he's just so freaking good, in other shows, like I've told you about. Ishmael, he's got a great look. I know, and he's been in many movies, and I'm not, what I'm saying is he has been working. So I don't know where he's been working steadily for over 10 years.
Well, he's not been prepped properly, has he, on dealing with these things? I mean, he's just slamming fans by basically calling them racist.
I don't know where
this is what he's saying.
Well, I just don't know where he gets that he's marginalized.
Well, probably Twitter, right? Like he's just sat on Twitter going, people have said that they're saying racist things. They must be saying racist things. I mean, Andre,
I can tell you exactly where he's gotten that from.
Jesus, buddy.
He's back.
Oh, my eardrum's out.
Yeah, I can tell you exactly where he's gotten that from. He will have gotten that from the PR agency that Amazon's marketing division hired to orchestrate this marketing campaign. Because this is just the final leg on the marketing campaign, which was built all around the false victimhood narrative from day one. Because they keep on talking about, we just made this casting announcement, and no, there was no regular casting announcement. It was a circus and a freak show from day one. We all know what a regular casting announcement looks like, right? That's not what happened here. What Amazon's marketing division, no doubt aided by external PR divisions who are hired to create engagement. That's what they do. This is how they roll. They say, okay, we're going to go for diversity. We're going to go for dilution. These are your talking points. We're going to really piss people off. We're going to look for any kind of negative reaction. If there isn't one, we're going to manufacture one. And that is going to kickstart phase 2 of the marketing, the victimhood and the fan blaming, to guilt everyone to say that you have to watch this, because if you don't, you're not a good, virtuous person. And you want to be a good, virtuous person, right? Well, then you have to watch this. This is kind of like their thing. So they were set up for all of this from the very first moment they were announced. And they were announced like a freak show. Like, look at this person. Look how black this person is in a white role. Can you believe it? We're so progressive. Everyone, look here. That's what they were doing. They were asking.
It's quite grotesque, really, when you think about it.
Yeah.
In that sense.
Exactly. And if anything, I think they are disappointed that they didn't get the kind of negative reaction they were hoping to. Because note here, in this, I believe it's even pointed out here in this Bounding into Comics article, because of course it's taken from Entertainment Weekly or Deadline Hollywood or some of those places, right? Variety it is.
Yeah.
And they talk about, this massive Rossist backlash. Where is it? Where's the example?
Everyone's just been. Well, most people are like, DC is really good, actually. Most people are like, DC is like one of the best, characters in the whole bloody thing.
Yeah, of course, this is their narrative. But the fact of the matter is that if you think back to all this, this racist backlash, just think, what have we seen of the examples? And the only thing that you can think of is all of these articles coming out in defense of an imagined backlash that never really happened. Of course,
the
there
thing
were
is,
some comments here and there, but there was no massive, huge backlash. That never
yeah.
happened. It was apathy and rejection from day one.
Yeah, I mean, so the thing is, like, I remember doing a video on this at the time. Was like, people were like, "Oh, it's a huge racist backlash," blah 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 blah. I was like, "Look, I've not seen that. You know, the reviews are not, from what I've seen, the reviews are not of that nature. They're just saying it's boring, or you shouldn't have swapped people out because it, you know, is in direct opposition to the fundamental basis of why Tolkien did certain things. But fine, sure, whatever. But it's boring as a result of that. So you're whatever." But I remember doing a video at the time, and I was like, look, if we're to believe that Amazon, you know, truly did have 25 million views or whatever it was of the, you know, of the first 2 episodes in the first 24 hours, there will be racism in that, right? Because why? Of course, there's going to be. You know, if we're to believe that what they're saying is true, that there is racism, and that there is, of course, such a high view count, it's like, well, then the percentage of people, you know, there's a percentage of everyone, you know, of a populace. There's going to be a couple percentage points of those individuals that are definitely racist. Of course, there are. Racists exist, and so you then, you know, you have a higher pool. The percentage is still the same, but the amount you see is going to go up because it's a bigger pool to draw from. But that's only if you're to believe that that is it. But even that didn't even play out in that context anyway, because when you're looking at the reviews, it was just like, this is fucking boring. You know, this is just so boring. It's terribly written. It's like the, you know, it's just awful as a show. So even if you're playing devil's advocate and believe in what they're saying, it still didn't play out in that way.
Yeah, no, again,
Ridiculous.
it's just part of the narrative and part of the marketing campaign, which is all about victimhood in an era where victimhood is celebrated. That's a big deal here.
Well, this is also what it. So before you came back, I was saying to Paulie is that these actors now have in their contracts that they can't say anything that will disparage the show or lead to the show being seen in or movie being seen in a bad light, or as they forfeit, you know, monetary, you know, a monetary amount basically. And so they either didn't have that in their contracts or this was approved. It's one of the two. But this is a new thing.
Approved. I mean, this is part of the
exactly. This is what I mean. Like, it goes back to what you were saying.
Yeah.
I want to jump off of what Andre was saying, and let's just say
jump right in.
Let's just say that whatever Cruz Cordova is saying here is true, right? He got a lot of hate. He got a lot of grief online. Although I've been following him as well on Instagram for quite some time, I see nothing but love and support in every one of his posts. And he's traveled all over the world with this. It's wonderful. It's a dream come true. Congratulations. But let's just say you're right, senor. That's not those people's fault. It is. You're always going to get idiots. But that's the marketing and press, the way it was presented, this show, to everyone. If you want to blame anyone, blame your bosses, because they used you as a token. Your performance or your or you as that elf, you know, it's a fantasy elf. I don't care what color you are. I really don't. But the fact that they overemphasized every step of the way, every day, your skin color, your background. They vaulted you into this thing where you're not really an actor. You know, again, I used it yesterday.
You're a pigment. You're a pigmentation.
You're a piñata. Right? You're an ornament to them. So that's one thing. The other thing I'd love to ask Andre and Nate is that I truly believe they created this whole marketing campaign, like what Andre said, because they knew the turd that they had on the table.
Without unequivocally, they always do this. Whenever the show's about to start, whenever they know they've got something terrible, this is what they do. They did it with Terminator Bloody Dark Fate. You watch it play out. It's that it's a preemptive strike on the audience. That's what it is. It's a preemptive strike. I mean, Andre, you'll agree with this, I'm sure.
I don't.
Oh, right.
You don't?
Nope, I don't agree.
What part?
Here's like the thing.
And how dare you disagree?
Yeah.
I know. We need an echo chamber up in this bitch. Come on now, what's going on?
Exactly. No, where I disagree with you is that because I see where your argument is coming from, because your argument is basically that they see, oh shit, we have a really bad product on our hands. People are going to hate this, so we have to get the defense ready right away so that we have something to point to when they call us out for our incompetence because we really blew it here. And I can see why one would think that, but I disagree with it because they don't set out to make anything bad. They probably genuinely believe they have made something really good that the old set of fans, the problematic ones, that they won't respond to. But they genuinely believe that when you get rid of those problematic older fans, then all of the young, new, diverse audience, the ones that they see on the streets in LA, they're all gonna come flocking to this now when suddenly it's safe and they've removed the gatekeepers. This is what they genuinely believe. But here's the thing though, and this is where the misunderstanding comes in. The projects that are made for modern audiences, they are the projects which are woke, and that means that they will always, 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 without exception, be bad because they have subverted an original franchise. And part of this package are then these PR agencies. These are the same people that know, okay, we have to create some engagement here. We have to get our audience in on this. We have to let them know that their activism is needed. And that is the reason why this particular brand of marketing is initiated. It is to create this false victimhood narrative so that this hordes and hordes and hordes of fans that they think are going to come is going to rally to the defense. And that is how they are going to be hooked in, by their activism. Someone that will appreciate the diversity, the inclusion, the representation. Like these are the key words that they use in the marketing. And that is because they think that this is going to appeal to their imaginary audience. So it's very easy, and I don't blame anyone for thinking that, oh, this is a defense because what they have sucks. No, it's part of the package. It's part of the package for modern audiences. And all products for modern audiences suck. And they all use this particular brand of marketing because that is how they intend to reach their imagined modern audience of activists. See what I'm saying? See the difference?
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I mean they're sort of like almost like two cheeks of the same arse, aren't they? Really?
They are. They're very, very different. The only difference is in the causality of events, because from the outside it may look like, oh, they made a stinker. They recognize they have a stinker, so now they need a defense.
I wonder,
But what actually happened was that no, they were appealing to modern audiences from day one, and they think that modern audiences, how do you reach them? By creating controversy, by creating drama, by waking up the activist in them, so that all the activists are going to come because that's our audience.
But they don't.
No, of course not, because they're wrong.
Of course they're not consumers. Activists are not consumers. They don't give a shit.
It never equates to viewership, loyal viewership, new fans.
Nope, never.
Very small, very small.
But again, there's a couple of different other reasons why these people think that that's a winning recipe, and this unfortunately is immune to actual observation, because now you're into ideology.
Yeah, but I wonder if that is actually the case for this one in particular, or whether we're talking about like a mix of the two, because You know, I remember just before it was being released, there were some interviews going around. I mean, even Jeff Bezos himself was like, you know, my son came to me and said, "Don't fuck this up." So you
Right.
know, blah 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 blah. It
I heard that.
seemed like I agree with what you're saying, Andre. But I wonder if it's a blend, you know, of the two. One like a certain element of it, or a certain amount of both, basically. Them doing
Nah, I
the
don't think
sort of
so. I
hate
don't
bait
think so.
tactics.
You have to just consider where this began, and the marketing
Mm.
formally kicked off with this paid for puff piece in where was it, in an industry trade? No.
Oh, it was
Was
Entertainment
it?
Weekly, wasn't it? Was that not one
No,
of the
Vanity
it was
Fair.
Vanity Fair.
Oh, was it? Oh,
Well,
okay. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. Sorry.
that
Yeah.
should
Well,
tell
yeah.
you everything, right?
the very
Shoes
first
and
thing was the
readers of
trailer.
Vanity Fair. That is where they kicked off the marketing campaign, which only
Goodness
goes to
me.
show. And it was with that piece that the fans started rioting. But even there, they had the victim narrative all set up and ready to go. And this was before they knew how bad shape they were in. It was after this interview that they learned, shit, this is really bad. But there you kind of like see how the timelines work against that. Oh, we have a stinker here, let's do this. No, because they didn't know that the audience were going to be this badly against it until after the marketing kicked off. And the marketing kicked off with the victimhood narrative that was there from day one.
Yeah, well, you're right. So I think it's interesting. Is that like it's an interesting conversation about, you know, where you can kind of perceive a marketing to go, right? Like, so you said they wheeled them out like, you know, like a freak show, and I agree with that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because they did. They just wheeled them out. It was like, look, we've got a black. There you go. That's basically what they did. Whereas, and that I think in and unto itself is always a bad sign.
May I?
Rather than wheeling them out and going, this guy's an incredible actor.
Or not say anything and let the work
Completely
speak for
different
itself.
tonally. Well, no, but I mean, you know, explain why you've hired
It's
people.
worse.
Why not?
It's worse even in the case of Nomveta. It wasn't literally just rolling her out. It was rolling her out and saying, "Look at her. Look how black she is." Because there was a matter
Who is
of
this?
colorism as well. Sofia Nomveta. Because there they went for the colorism angle as well. Because now it's not just a matter
Who is
of
that?
like
Who's that?
The one who
the
played
elf.
Disa.
Yeah, Disa.
Oh, the dwarf.
Yeah, then it also, yes, did I say elf? I meant dwarf. But anyway, there it wasn't just a matter of being black. It was dark skin, black in particular. So they
Did
even
they
made
do
a
that?
point
I didn't
of it.
remember they did
Yeah,
that.
they did. I
Oh,
also a
holy
point of
shit.
that as
These
well.
people are so racist. I'd never say that.
But
oh my
you know,
God.
the actors picked up on it and were really pushing it in their interviews.
Yeah, she was pushing it more than
She was
anyone.
pushing it
She,
really
Yeah, I
she was
remember.
pushing the
I do remember her doing stuff like that.
the dark skin angle of it,
Yeah,
and
it
of
was
course
really
didn't do it of her own accord. I mean, she was, and the acting extends to the marketing. You're not done acting when you leave the
So
set.
racist.
As a cast, you're expected to continue to act for the marketing campaign. That is part of your job as an actor. But then you are acting a fictional version of yourself who has to read all these bullshit lines and everything. And what she had to read were lines presented to her about diversity, inclusion, like they all did, dark skin, and basically come out like like a minstrel, basically, and
Oh my God.
act out all of these horrendous lines that have gone viral since, right? She had to do that. That's part of her job as an actress. That doesn't stop on
for
set.
what, right? For what? For at the end of the day, a terrible product, a forgettable product. And you know, and I actually liked her performance in some of the episodes. I didn't like what they did with her character.
She was good.
She was, you know, she was the, like, her and Durin were the ones I could, you know, stand them, you know, I could take. You know, everyone was just so god.
I mean, Don Legolas was good as well.
Who was that?
Don Legolas, that was the elf.
Ismael
Cruz Cordoba. He was good too. He was
really good.
Yeah,
I thought he was fine. I don't think he had good material to
presence.
work with, to be honest.
I
don't know. I don't think he had good material.
Well, listen, that's you know, that's what do you call it? That's you know,
It's personal opinion, subjective.
personal opinion. Thank you.
I just don't think he had good material to work with personally. But it's a little bit more of what they were saying here before we dive on to the next topic. It says, did it become a bit too much? This is about the racist backlash. Did it become a bit too much? Absolutely. It's taken airtime from the depth of who we are as artists. Well, that's because you allowed them to wheel you out as a pigmentation rather than an artist.
Not only that, that's what they wanted and fully participated in.
It doesn't take away from your art. Your art's already done, dude.
Yeah,
your art is already done. Let the
speaks for itself.
Yeah, be proud of your work. I mean, like, you know, me and Andre actually liked you. You have some presence. I didn't like.
Well, you're not going to like him from the next statement, but it just shows you where we are in the world and how much work we still have to do. I'm just very grateful that it's us who are able to recalibrate, break form, reshape, and make history. He's the first black person, basically, on TV, isn't he? He's making history.
It's never happened before.
He's the first black elf.
Me.
But hasn't there been some other elves of color in other movies?
Oh
yeah. Let's say Adair Robinson, who did the Queen Regent, came in and said, in order to not have such an impact, the pendulum has to swing. We are right in the middle of that process. I don't think we are. We just want to normalize. We do have to discuss it because we are now in a space in society where need to now and again acknowledge exactly what is happening.
I have to say, I really, really react to the usage of the term normalize.
Yep,
I know, because that is the term that the KGB used.
It's an ideological cult-like.
Yeah, exactly. That was like after a successful subversion of society, when they had ruined society and they were ready to roll in the tanks, and they had done that. That's when normalization began. After the target society had been destroyed. So not a great choice of words there.
Normalized spaces, allies, hold space. I mean, all that language is just, you know, mamadas.
And you know what? It's not making society nicer. Society's not got nicer as a result of this. I remember I watched a clip yesterday of a mixed girl at a dad's funeral lambasting her father at his funeral, going, "You're a straight cis white man, and I hate you." It's like, whoa. And everyone clapping. I'm like, you're a bunch of fucking assholes.
I'll take your money. I'll take your money to change the world.
Awful people.
I have to say that is one of the most disturbing clips I have ever freaking seen.
Everyone just clapping at the end. I thought people would be shouting.
No, it wasn't everyone. I think it was like some people politely clapping, not knowing what to do in pure shock. I didn't. Many more people there than were clapping.
But you know, going back to this, it's like, you know, so now that we're normalized, what if we have a question about, you know,
you can't have questions.
An IP being changed too much from its origin. Oh no, you can't do that.
No, it's racist.
No,
can't do that.
You know, and they're, like you said, they're not very nice.
No, they're awful people. These people are they're racist. This is the fact is that these people, you know, they are racist. They only see color. It's disgraceful. So this individual continued again anyway. It says that level of distraction or aggression that was put towards us. Who? Show me the receipts. It's been a painful journey to get there, but it has elevated us. It has put us in a position where there will be a plague one day when... What the fuck?
What you saying here?
I know.
Who is this? Still the same guy?
This is still the same woman. This is the woman who played the Queen Regent. It has put us in a position where there will be a plague one day when the pendulum has swung to where it needs to be. We will have badges upon the people who fought the great fight. This is some Nazi level shit. In order to get to a point to where there isn't such an eruption based solely on that when a casted announcement comes. While it's been a challenge, it has been a phenomenal moment to be a part of. Doors are open and accessibility is available for absolutely everyone to feel safe within a franchise. Fuck off. And a story of this scale It's been really important and empowering. Tears have been shed, blood has been spilled, metaphorically, but we are here. A pendulum and a plane.
And the
Badges.
blood has been. This is
Badges
literally
of people.
this is literally straight from the speeches of Mussolini and others.
I can't get over this bit. We will have badges upon the people who fought the great fight in order to get to a point to where this isn't such an eruption based solely on that.
Mind you,
Badges.
Yeah,
Will they be on the arm? Will they?
Right. Well, yeah, show me your badges. She does realize that she's playing a fictional character in a fantasy television program, right? Where they actually have monsters and wizards and ships flying in the air. I don't know what.
No, because the biggest monster is perceived racism.
She's actually not in the trench warfare of liberating a country.
But you know what? I think that she
Maybe
may
she is.
genuinely believe that she is.
She is.
These people actually
That's the
think
problem with ideologues. The problem
Yeah.
with ideologues is that they live literally in a different world. They live in this imaginary world where they are sacred warriors in a fight for a new, better world and a better future. You know, just like this is the exact same kind of mentality that was used by the brown shirts and the supporters of every single totalitarian regime in history. Their supporters were just like this.
Mm.
The people that run the death camps had justifications just like this. The pendulum was shifting, and there will be medals for us brave soldiers who are cleansing the earth for the blood of the forefathers and yada yada yada. This is
it's disgraceful.
It goes to show like
we're
dealing with modern day authoritarians here. Like I remember thinking when I was a kid that read in history books about like fascist regimes before, but this is our modern day version of it.
Yeah. Well, so the individual that played Disa, who was so full on in those pre-interviews, also responded to that question about the racism and said, to answer your question, we still get a ton of controversy. No, you don't. But there has been a shift. You know what there has been? It feels like there's been a sit down. She elaborated. It feels like we have had to prove ourselves almost. We had to defend ourselves, but it's undeniable that these people are in the position that they are in, deserve to be there and should be there. There is nobody else that could have played the role. Well, it's debatable. I genuinely feel that there has been a shutdown. I've had apologies, which I love. All right. That's quite telling. Even if it were just one person acknowledging that the frame of mind was wrong.
Oh, so basically it was one person.
Yeah, well, apparently according to this. She had one apology. She was really good. Ah, goodness me. Goodness me. What a bunch of total nonsense. And it is absolute nonsense. God damn. Perceived racism. I can't get over that. There'll be a plague upon everyone. Some psychotic level stuff there. It really is.
It is. Absolutely it is.
So, moving on to the next bit. Actually, do we have some super chats? I don't know if we did. Let me have a look. I think I might have had one.
I think we had. I think there was.
We had two actually. Sorry, just as a real quick one, ladies and gents. If you want to support the channel, super chats and join the conversation. Tom working for $5 says, "Hey, those shows, whatever." You're the ones with the forum, so we covered that, and he did send one more. So it was one more. Tom working again for $5 says, "Never mind right now. Go back to the books. Might like the source material better. Lord of the Rings, Wrinkle of Time, Narnia lacks the dog whistles." Yeah, I mean, again, yeah. You're completely right. I mean, modern day storytelling is essentially a dog whistle now, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I can't argue with that. I mean, this is the thing. I think a lot of people are going back to source material now more than the adaptations. And the adaptations are failing as well. Again, you only have to look at The
Across the
Witcher.
board.
That's failing. Hey?
Yeah, across the board.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah,
they're failing
Witcher,
across the
done.
board.
Rings of Power, done. What else? What else is failing that was an adaptation
Well,
recently?
Marvel used to be really successful.
Oh, yeah.
Now that's
Yeah.
failing to everything Marvel.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I mean, I think that's potentially one of the biggest failures of adaptations at the moment, and that's all because of the, the Phase 4 push for this sort of, well, I guess sort of the message, as it were. There's no clear direction going on. It's all at the expense of this, this sort of message element. I mean, that's going downhill massively. Again, a failure of adaptation. Huge failure of adaptation. I mean, even She-Hulk was a great example of that as a failure of the adaptation, just completely bombing. Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. So what we've got now, Paulie, is that right at the start?
Let me see. Here we go. We're right at the start.
Perfect. Right. So what I'm about to show you guys, and I don't know if you've seen this, Andre, but it's someone talking allegedly about the interview process for G4 TV.
Right.
Have you seen
Yeah,
this?
I know the story. I've got the gist of it. I haven't seen anything, but
It is insane.
Hmm.
And this goes to show exactly why they failed. Because at the inception point, hiring staff, they had a clear, distinct agenda. And it goes hand in hand with what we just said, the message. It's all to do with that. So let's have a watch of this, ladies and gents. We'll enjoy this.
Do you think now that G4 is gone, I can like talk about stuff?
Yeah.
G4.
So, like,
what do you mean?
Okay, so like people are always like, yo, G4 shut down because of this or that. And I'm like, bro, I was already sus with G4 shutting down from the interview process because like the guy that was interviewing me, he goes, so why should we cancel Batman? And
What?
I was like, wait, what? And he's like, yeah. Why do you believe we should cancel Batman? And I was like, why are we canceling Batman? He's like, because he's rich and he's white. And I was like, well, what do those two have to do with each other? Like, yeah, people believe that he just skates on the law, and that if someone of color did the same exact thing, they wouldn't get away with it like he does.
That's a
like,
real ass question that they asked you?
That's literally what G4 recruiting asked me. If I was getting like robbed or assaulted in Arkham or something, I wouldn't really care who's saving me. I don't care if he's rich and white. I just care enough that he's like actually like saving people. Because are you gonna do anything about it? Yeah, he didn't like that answer. Then later on, another question they asked me was, okay, besides Batman, what other superhero would you cancel?
You know, I know exactly who they wanted you to say. They wanted you to say Spider-Man because he works with the NYPD. Fucking Kotaku, every time a Spider-Man game comes out, I can't believe we're glamorizing this.
I was like, I don't think I have an answer. And he's like, well, you have to give one or whatever. So I think it says something like Punisher or something, even though he's like one of my favorites. I was like, Punisher? And he's like, good answer. And I was like, okay, whatever.
Anyway.
Wow.
That's insane, isn't it? I mean, that is absolutely insane. I don't know who people are saying it's from someone, RGT. I don't know who that is. I don't watch YouTube that much, believe it or not.
Yeah, I like that guy.
I could not believe that. Nick, you've literally just come in as that was played.
Yeah,
thoughts? I hand it over to all of you. Give me, because I watched this earlier. Give me your thoughts.
I personally, for me, I'm not surprised. I mean, it lines up with the kind of companies that they seem to be, and from what we're seeing, just from the content that they're giving and the actions they take, the tweets they send out, like this just seems like normal on their part. It's absolutely ridiculous and crazy, but again, I'm not surprised that this happened in this interview process at all.
Why should we cancel Batman?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad that this video got out, or this guy's channel did this interview with that lady. That's good that they're getting out there, because
Did it ever say in the video who that was that he was talking to? Was it an ex-employee or just somebody that interviewed for a job there?
Someone that got interviewed by G4
Yeah.
recruitment.
Okay.
And who didn't get it, evidently.
Okay. All right.
right, because she
Yeah.
didn't fit
Probably
the
because they
mold.
were like, the fuck?
Mhm.
Yeah. I have to say, I'm not surprised. And it only goes to show exactly what kind of person they were looking for. This was a discussion that we had with our good friend Paul Chato on Midnight's Edge in the morning the other day, because he wondered, why was Frost hired in the first place? Like, does she have a fan following? Is there anyone who likes what she does? To which we all could answer, no, not among fans, not among the potential viewers of G4. The only ones who like her are the producers, provided they are of activist leanings and they have certain
Yeah.
boxes, certain criteria they need to fill. They like her because they fit her boxes. And those that want to be in with a certain crowd, to be like the modern day brown shirts, she has that opinions, and this only goes to show that's exactly who they were looking for. That means that you have someone who is ideologically right here at this place, and they want to ensure that only people who are ideologically pure, let's put it that way, will be hired. And this is actually a really, really good screening mechanism, because the ones that aren't get hired, they're going to react like this girl does here right now. It's going to be like, why the hell would you want to cancel Batman? And if I'm being mugged in Gotham, I just want to be saved. And the skin color and personal income of whoever does it is of a distant secondary concern compared to I just want to be saved. And I was like, wrong answer. You have to cancel someone, because that's what these people do. They cancel is one of their defining traits. And they're
Remember, cancel
activists.
culture
That's
doesn't
when,
exist.
yeah, well, that was before. I mean, that we're being normalized right now. Then they can admit, yeah, it does exist the whole time. It was a big part of subverting society. And yeah, and then this question, like the person that they want is someone that they see like, cancel Batman, and they're gonna get fired up and list 20 reasons why they hate Batman, and the correct answer to name one other superhero you want to cancel. The correct answer to that is, why do I have to stop at one? That's the correct answer.
Yeah. Give me all of them. I'll cancel them
Yeah,
all.
exactly.
I'll find out some intersectional reason to kill them all. It's fine.
Everyone who is white and male, if that's the answer, you're hired.
God. Or anyone that acts white and is male.
Yeah, that too. That too.
You know, that matters as well, apparently.
Yeah.
God damn it.
So
Absolutely
yeah,
ridiculous.
I'm not surprised, and I have to give them credit, because this is how you're able to fill entire companies. This is why Marvel has gone, because you have to keep in mind,
You're really
this
tried to
got
hire these
caught.
people.
This got caught. How many companies do you think have these hiring practices in the world of entertainment that we don't know about? How can whole companies be filled with people that want to basically overthrow society this way?
Well, think about
Well, that's
Twitter,
because they
right?
have, yeah, that's what I
Twitter was
mean.
a homogenous, attitude. Everything was exactly the same all of
And
Twitter.
how
Well,
can
most
they,
Silicon Valley stuff, yeah.
yeah, and how can they ensure that kind of homogeneity and lack of diversity of opinion? Well, by having screening questions like these, and see, are you horrified and puzzled by the question, or are you fired up and desperate to go on a cancel crusade? Well, that's who they're going to hire. You do that for a few years, and you're going to have these people in positions calling the shots on things like The Witcher, on the He-Man revival, in Marvel, in Star Wars. I mean, that's how we got to the place where we are right now, where every single genre property is getting ruined. Where when we hear that a new comic or book we like or something is getting a new adaptation, whereas 10 years ago we'd be like, yes. Now we're all like, no, not now. Don't leave it alone. I mean, that's
Andre,
new, and that's because people like this are running the show.
so let me ask you a question. Do you think it's going to just take several years before these studios do a turnabout, kind of like how Zaslav is doing? They're going to wait and see their successes. Well, what are your feelings?
Only some studios even can do turnabouts. Zaslav is in a unique position that almost no one else is in, where he actually can do a turn. For instance, for Disney and Amazon, no such turn is possible, not without gigantic political maneuvering, and even then, it's limited what can be done. I mean, Zaslav is a unique case. Like, this is something that annoys me when people, like, for instance, misunderstand our reporting on what Chapek has to do at Disney. Is he Disney's savior? Disney doesn't have a savior unless someone comes in, a Zaslav type comes in and does a corporate takeover. Only then would they
there's no
truly be
opportunity to
Disney's
get rid of
savior.
people. They can't drain the
No,
swamp, can they? This is the
no,
thing, is that
it's not possible.
yeah, the thing is, and this is this goes, I guess, similarly to like Elon Musk taking over Twitter. When you've taken over a company, you know, you bought the company, you're in a unique position where you can
Yes.
start to drain the swamp. You can clear
And you know
house,
why?
and why?
Because of the board. The CEO is beholden to
Oh
the
yeah,
board. The
yeah.
CEO controls the company and is the boss of everyone working for the company. But the boss of the CEO is the board, and the board can throw away the boss or the CEO at the moment's notice. This is why Zaslav has all the power. Who's the board? Where's the Discovery board? These are people that know and trust him already, because he's already won them, taken them to adventures that they couldn't dream about. He's everything they have invested in him, they've gotten back 20 times over. They trust this guy. So that is what gives him all the power. Whereas then look at the board of Disney. Who owns that? Who's the big investors who are on the board there? Well, there you have a number of banks, you have a number of retirement funds, you have certain individuals like Lucas, like the widow of Steve Jobs, like all of these people, presumably and hopefully, want the biggest dividend possible. So they want the company to be financially successful. But then you have other companies. I'm not going to say their names directly, because I don't want to get your stream demonetized or taken down. But you have like companies that sound like a stone of a dark shade, or the protector of the van. And these people, they're heavily invested in Disney, but they're not invested for dividend. They're invested because they want the social engineering, and they're pushing for that.
So
These
they're
are
behind the
shareholders that are
ESG as well,
protected.
aren't they?
Yeah,
If I remember
exactly.
rightly.
And they want that propaganda arm. So they're
Yeah.
protecting all of these things. They're filling up more of this. That's what Chapek is dealing with. That's what you have all over the place, wherever you have people on the investment side like this. So the first thing that has to be done is to get those out of the equation. And that's what happened with Warner. They're out of the equation because Discovery came in, and Discovery is virtually the sole owner. And yeah, people like that may have some share, but not big enough controlling share that they actually can make a difference there.
Yeah.
But
Speaking of Zaslav, real quick, this business about the 4 Batmen.
Yeah.
Did anyone see this? What does everyone think about this?
Did you
I'm
see
not
this, Andre?
surprised. Yeah. I saw. I want to hear what you guys have to say first before I lay it out.
Well, it was an interesting point. It just says, I think in the next few years you're going to see a lot of growth and opportunity around DC. There's not going to be 4 Batmans. It's like, There wasn't anyway. It would have
There
been
was
3, right?
no. There was going to be 4.
Well, who's the 4th?
Batgirl was the 4th.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I was thinking he was being literal Batman. But
Batgirl
okay.
literally was the planned Batman for Anne
Yeah, moving
Sarnoff's now
forwards.
defunct DCU. That was what the Flash was setting up. That is why the Batgirl movie was cancelled, because she literally was going to be the new Batman. She was going to take over that role and that
Well, same
mantle
as Supergirl, right?
going forward. Same with Supergirl. That's exactly right.
Yeah, I was curious what they were going to do with all the different Batman versions that DC had going on, and if they were going to be a part of the same universes or a multiverse type thing. But it looks like this one universe that James Gunn and them are doing, that's going to include Henry Cavill's Superman and stuff. It's just going to be one Batman. And I guess everything else is going to be separate.
Well, you are in luck because Tom is here now, and Tom has been spot on with his DC coverage.
Come on, Tom. Sock it to me. What does that mean?
Pattinson is in trouble.
Who'd you say was in trouble?
No, there's a reason why Matt Reeves and Pattinson got some deal here not too long ago. It had nothing to do with, we're getting a bunch of Batman movies. It's like, look, you guys are probably not going to get another Batman movie, but here's a 5-picture deal each to make up for that. Again, it may happen from what I've been hearing, and it's consistent, and I checked again. What he means by this, there's not going to be 4 Batman. There's only going to be 1 Batman in the DCEU, and that's going to probably be Ben Affleck. As far as the Pattinson business goes, he made a comment about Pattinson possibly showing up in the Penguin, but notice he has not once mentioned the Batman 2, really. So in this case, I think my reporting is correct on that the Batman 2 is going to consist of how well the Penguin does on HBO Max. And Matt Reeves has already said it's going to be 2025 before we see a Batman 2. If it was such a success, they would have rushed it. They would have bum rushed it like they did Joker 2. Because that was one thing I heard before Zaslav even came in the doors. Day one, he wanted to hear what the plan for Joker 2 was. And he also said that he wants to hear a pitch for the Batman 2, but it's got to be shorter, less of a budget, and they got to work on a few other things. But that was still a big maybe we'll see. But Valiant's here now, and you listened to that. Did you listen to his presentation at all, Valiant?
I got bits and pieces. I haven't had a chance to listen to the whole thing, but I mean, look, everything I know about the guy. I know. I'm sorry.
I'm just curious what your interpretation of his wording was.
I tend to agree with you. Look, obviously we know the guy's coming in this, $200 million budget that they had for the Batman, where originally I thought it was supposed to be a lot cheaper, and I know it ran up because of the other issues.
It was through COVID, so an additional 25% as a minimum would have been added on top of that. So,
they've got to get those under control, because you can't spend $200 million and keep returning.
And it made $200 million less than BVS. Keep in mind.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying is you cannot spend those kind of dollars and keep getting back $700 to $750 million box office ceilings. That doesn't work long run.
Yeah,
Disney's figuring that out now. Yeah, no, they're actually changing the name. It's not Wakanda Forever. It's Wakanda for 2 weekends.
Valiant's favorite new movie. Said so.
Yeah.
But no,
did you go see it, Valiant?
I saw it in a tweet. I saw it in a tweet.
Opened my laptop one morning last week, and damn it, if it wasn't on there. Don't know how that happened. But yeah, I watched it. If you could call watching it.
But so going back to Zaslav, did you hear him? Because the context of tone.
I did not hear the whole thing. No, I did not. I did not. I'm just going by what I heard him talk about during the earnings call. Previous statements he's made about definitely looking at cutting back in some of these budgets, because I mean he made it very clear during the earnings call a couple of weeks ago that we're spending a ton of money, and I'm paraphrasing. We're spending a ton of money making properties that virtually nobody's watching, whereas our catalog titles, our reruns of and he filled in like these old TV shows are outperforming them on streaming services. So it's like this is the kind of thing that we have to look at. We have to spend our dollars more wisely in terms of the type of programming that we create and how much we spend on it. That's going to go for the films too. So I that doesn't cutting back the budgets and trimming this down. And I saw the comments he made that seemingly the architecture, this 10-year plan, some of the first drafts of the architecture are pretty much finished, according to what he said, from Gunn and the other guys,
Safran.
Safran, yeah. So we'll see.
I wonder, here's an interesting sort of counterpoint for all of you now here on the stream, is that obviously a lot of these businesses are now realizing that they can't keep pumping so much money into these movies, and that they're just not getting the return because the interest is waning in this stuff. It's not necessarily the interest. I don't think the interest was ever really there. I think people are wising up that it's just boring and it's pushing a message and it's a lecture. And so a lot of people are waking up to this, and we've just seen that Hamada has now been hired by another studio to do. It's like a 10-year deal to produce low budget for streaming and release movies, horror.
Paramount, I believe.
And horror has always been one of those things. I mean, it made Blumhouse, right? Low budget horrors, fucking huge take-ins at the box office.
Well,
and I do wonder if now we're going to see a wave of these low budget horrors from every studio as an attempt to recoup a lot of this loss that is being made from this shit programming. I mean, I wonder what you guys think of that, because I think that I think
how they got themselves
genuinely think
through
we're going
the
to get
70s, right? Like outside of the few big hits they had in the 70s, horror films is what got them through. If you think about it, low budget horror films, it was stuff like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween, Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th basically bankrolled Paramount through the 80s outside of Eddie Murphy and Tom Cruise. If you take those two out of the equation, as embarrassed as Paramount was about Friday the 13th, they sure did make one every goddamn year almost. Why? Because they made a shit ton of fucking money. That's why. And because they cost nothing to make. And that's what these horror movies are all about. They cost absolutely nothing to make, and they have a very loyal audience. You know that, Nate. Like, they have a very loyal audience, and as long as you can keep the budget low, and you don't have to keep, like, look at Halloween as a prime example. Nobody, even the people who made it, Universal, nobody ever expected that movie to make as much money as it did.
No, they really did not.
And we saw the same thing in the 90s with Scream. And we saw the same thing in the 80s and 70s with those movies I just mentioned.
Blair Witch Project.
I was about to say Blair Witch Project.
And Blair Witch Project is another one you can throw in there for the
Activity.
90s.
Annabelle, Saw.
So it just goes through its typical progression. We had, you had the Saw era come in there. It's every 4 to 6 years, it seems like. And then it depends. Every time it'll pick a new boogeyman, right? One run it's vampires. One run it's zombies. We'll see what this next run's probably going to be, werewolves or some shit.
Well, I can
Who
tell
knows?
you right now, it's going to continue to be demons, because it can be done so cheap. It is so scary. You don't really have to do like any super advanced effects or anything. So much can be done with implication, and you at most you just need like a couple of shots of makeup of a guy in the shade. That's really all you need.
Look at Smile right now. I mean, that's the
I saw Smile the other day for actually
good little film.
Yeah,
fun little film.
I liked it better when it was called It Follows, but yeah, good little film.
But I mean, is this something that we all agree that this is probably something we're going to get now? A resurgence of these low-budget horror movies. I mean, that is my prediction. My hot prediction moving forwards now is that this is what we're going to get, just churning them out. Not necessarily, month by month, but I think that we're going to get a wave of this stuff. And I think,
Nate, to be honest, if it wasn't for COVID, that was what I was trying to say. Is I think Halloween 2018 was going to kick that off, but then all of a sudden COVID hit, and then so now we're just starting to see that. Because right
Yeah.
off of that, you had a lot of talk of, because nobody expected, because for those who don't realize, that movie made more than the entire Halloween franchise put together. If you take away Rob Zombie's movies and if you add them to it still is just barely beat them. You know, like it's
Yeah.
because that movie alone made, God, what was it? Almost $500 million in the box office, something like that. I can't remember.
It was. I have to
ungodly
go back
amount.
and look it up. It was up
Yeah,
there.
closer to 4 or something like that. But still, like the entire franchise to that point hadn't made that much. So it was crazy that that movie on its own was able to do that. Now the sequels, different story. But Friday the 13th is another great example of it's cheap. You can
Yeah.
make it for dirt cheap. And this is why I don't understand about Paramount is they had Jason and everything for 5 years. They could have made a movie. Their excuse was the Ring reboot, whatever the hell it was, didn't bode well, so they didn't want to spend the money on a Friday the 13th movie. It's like, are you dumb? All you need is $2 million, some half-naked teenagers, a guy in a hockey mask, and a forest. That's all you fucking need. How do you spend more than a couple $1 million on that?
Yeah.
And best of all, it can be written over the course of a weekend.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, going back to what you said as well, Andre, is that with respect to demons and things, right? And just the broader point of horror, right? Horror works because it's the fear of the unknown, right? It's, you know, we have things that are hidden, you know, they're not 100% shown. They are just sort of there, in the mystery. Ooh. And so you don't even have to spend a great deal of money on prosthetic. You only have to spend like one day, a person in half in prosthetics, half out, because they're not really even there. You know, it's what horror works on the basis. A good horror, outside of a slasher, works on what we don't see. You know, it's actually what we don't see which makes it actually truly horrifying. You know, that's the thing of a good horror, is the things that we do not see and left to the imagination. It's the fear of the unknown, right? And yeah, I mean that I guess that adds to your point of why Demons is probably going to be right up there. One of the things, and probably slashers. I think we'll get a slasher resurgence for sure, because again, they're just easy to make.
Look at what just went into principal photography in the last couple of months, if not, maybe it's coming up. The Nun too. So you know that's
Jesus.
Yeah. So that's
that's part of the reason Hamada got this job, right? Is he's one of the guys behind the Conjuring universe. And
yeah.
Andre always points out it's one of the only other franchises that is technically successful. It is the highest grossing horror franchise of all time.
Franchise.
Yeah, like a cinematic universe. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's in front of everyone's faces, in plain sight, without letting anyone know. The Conjuring franchise was suddenly a Conjuring cinematic universe, and a really, really successful one to boot.
Yeah. And let me give you, and the reason, Mr. H, I brought up The Nun and The Nun 2 is because I think you're right on. Each one of these studios, putting Disney aside for a second, or they'll probably pump it out through Fox, obviously.
Well, they're doing it through Hulu. So
Hulu,
so that's a really valid point. So they've already got Prey. They've just we've already had now. Fede Alvarez is making a brand new Alien movie for Hulu. So they're doing it via that. They are actually doing this, and that's going to be a low budget one as well. They've got an Alien series in the works, TV series. So they're actually doing what we've just suggested. Even Disney are in on it.
I'd still love to see them put that into the theaters first, because you can still make so much money on your original investment there, and then go to Hulu. But my point is, and this is the key, is that yes, it's a business model to where Paramount, Universal, Fox, Hulu, whatever you want to call it, from Disney, Sony Pictures, whoever, either in-house or outsourcing, bringing in partners like Blumhouse or whatever the case may be to develop these. Every one of these studios needs to put out 2 of these a year, because it's like we talked about. The last couple of things, Smile and all these things. Now, with the exception of movies like Nope, which somehow spent $60 million, $70 million making, I have no idea. I don't know how they did that. But Smile and all these things are tracking in. The Black Phone, $17 to $20 million, right? The Nun, 2018's The Nun. I loved that movie. It cost $22 million to produce. However, and this is the beauty of it, you have to think it's not just the production budget, it's the marketing budget. And when you spend $100 million or $150 million to make a film today in 2022, you're still going to be spending, if you do a global release, whether you want to or not, you're still going to be spending close to $100 million to market the thing properly across the world. What you're doing with the horror movies is the same thing. They spent $20 million on production instead of $100 million, but they still spent $80 million to market The Nun. $80 million.
That's insane, man.
So, but it works.
More than it costs to make the movie.
Well, yeah, because you have to. You have to. Because you still have to market it. But here's the thing with The Nun. It yanked in almost $400 million globally. So that's
no way. Did it really?
Yeah, it was like $375 million.
Mad, man.
That is nuts.
So
that's a Saffron production too.
They knew what they had.
What about the nun? What about the nun? What about the nunchucks?
No, nunchucks are amazing. They're holy.
Yeah. Well, speaking of marketing, right? This is a shitty little. What's like it looks like dumb fun. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Has anyone seen this?
Oh, yes, I've seen this trailer.
I'm sorry, Piglet. I've got to eat your face.
This like it looks so crazy.
Yeah, doesn't it? Right? Like
it looks super cheap too.
Super cheap. Look at the views.
5 million views.
5 million.
Oh, I'm totally watching this thing.
Oh yeah, we're watching.
But this is the point, isn't it? A film like this, a low-budget little horror like this, doesn't need a marketing budget. When well, some of them do. Some of these things, right? I mean, this was the image that was dropped initially. It was this girl with big tits sitting in the hot tub, right?
That's how you promote a horror movie.
Yeah. But it is,
no,
though.
It's not. It's not. It is and it's not because Black Phone, The Nun. Annabelle.
You're talking about an elevated horror shit. We're talking about classic horror.
Shut up. Shut up. All those movies that I just said, appeal to chicks going to see the movies together and screaming their fucking lungs out.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. That's what Romy and all her girlfriends, they go, all those movies they went to go see by themselves. No guys allowed. All right? Black Phone, blah, 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 blah. Dude, they're making bank. All right, now you can go with your elevated put down.
Well, no,
that's why it's about the elevated horror, yeah.
But
there's nothing elevated about any of those movies, dude.
Goodness sake. Talking about the lower budget ones, for instance, you know, proper low budget. You know, I mean, this Winnie the Pooh one's going to be made for literally peanuts, completely nothing from an indie studio, completely. You know, that's going to make so much money. So much money. Well, they've already announced that they're going to do another one based on, I think it was Peter Pan.
Yep.
Which could be hilarious.
Well, that one's going to take place on Epstein Island.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Because, you know, Captain Hook has a thing for young boys. So.
Yeah.
And lest we forget Terrifier. I mean, Terrifier 4 or 5 are all coming.
No, but the biggest mistake they made in this Winnie the Pooh thing is they should have had me come in and do the voice, man. It's not going to be the same.
Yeah. They made
Christopher Robin, come out to play.
Well, not with your voice right now, Tom. Like
I know it sucks right now, but normally I can do it better. Winnie the Pooh.
What's wrong with your voice, Tom?
I have a head cold from hell, and I barely got my voice back just to come on here. But yeah,
I said, just as an FYI, everyone, I said to Tom, I was like, "Go rest."
He did.
Voice, mate. You don't need to worry. Don't come on. But he came on anyway. So what a trooper. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether that is the next trend. But let's move on now to everyone's favorite topic, Indy 5.
Oh.
Anyone seen this news? Indiana Jones 5, James Mangold denies rumors of Harrison Ford replacement by Phoebe Waller-Bridge, as it was never discussed. Where did those rumors come from? Any guesses?
Well, it's Doomcock. Got
the cock of doom.
Yes.
Doom Cockosaurus.
El Nino.
It was backed up by some other publications, though. To be fair, like I believe that Daily Mail did something on it, and Daily Mail. Say what you want about Daily Mail, but they have knocked it out of the park with some of their early movie coverage. Yeah, like for instance, with what happened with the most recent James Bond movie. They were on the ball, the very first ones to cover it. I mean, that's where we first picked it up from. It was from the Daily Mail. And they are independently of Doomcock backing up his scoop. So there's obviously some smoke there.
And there was one
Well,
other
so
publication, I can't remember who.
Yeah, well, so initially he's talking about the test screenings, right? Saying that they were a nightmare. And so that there were 6 different endings, and not one can get a good audience score. We've been told out of the 6 endings they tested, the best one gets a 35% approval from test audiences. Before noting that Bridge put the hat on in the very ending. So all of his sources said Phoebe Waller-Bridge puts on Indy's hat, takes Indy's whip, and in a brave and stunning display of girl power, she becomes the bestest Indy ever at the end of all versions. So then on November 10th, clarification regarding the rumors was finally requested from the director himself. So taken to Twitter, user Gus Hendenborg, great name, tagged both Mangold and producer Frank Marshall to ask, have there been test screenings of Indy 5 yet? Rumors are flying. There will have been test screenings, I would imagine by now.
Oh yeah.
He says, nope, haven't been any screenings at all. I don't really believe that, because
Liar.
when's this supposed to be released?
Well, it's supposed to be
next
released
July, I
this
think.
summer.
Yeah, but they got pushed
I love
back.
how nonchalantly Andre just went liar, and everybody just walked right over that because Andre.
Yeah. No, I caught it. But yeah, you.
I don't know how they couldn't have screenings. None, zero.
No, that's
at
what
this
I'm
point.
Yeah.
It was
just
supposed
doesn't
to
make
be
sense.
out this summer. And so you're telling me, and they delayed it. There's no way they haven't done that yet.
Yeah. I would imagine there's been test screenings.
Well, let's rewind the clock back to when Rise of Palpatine came out.
If I could turn back time,
just like Cher. And at that time, we had a bunch of leaks come out of screenings, and they also then claimed the same damn thing, that there weren't no screenings. But
Yeah,
lo and
all those
behold,
rumors were true.
all those fucking leaks were true.
Yeah.
Which might add, we're not
every
from
single one.
Doomcock, they're from Reddit, just as an FYI.
But my point is this, is them like playing this whole like game, almost like a pronoun game, with whether there were screenings or not. Okay, there wasn't a test screening, but there sure was an internal screening. And that was the problem we heard with Rise of Skywalker, because those are actually friends and family of the cast and crew usually that are involved. And they just usually kind of give an overall, impression. They don't like do the full blown test screening bit. So if people were reacting that way then, and it sounds similar now, is what I'm hearing. Because this isn't just coming from Doomcock. We've heard a few people saying that there's been some screenings for this, including Andre said, Daily Mail, and a few. I think Screen Rant backed it up too, but then they backtracked it when Mangold and
that's when the moment they said, oh shit, there's a narrative here, official narrative, block out from what we know, let's support the official narrative.
I think Collider actually had an article on it as well, like a week or a week and a half or so ago.
On the screening aspect of it?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
But I think it was Screen Rant. I think they're the only ones who've walked it back so far.
Oh, interesting. Because I mean, look, at the end of the day, they would have had screenings by now. Like, and the thing is, they went back for reshoots anyway, and there was actually quite heavy rewrites, and I know that because they got a bunch of pre-production staff back on board. You only get pre-production staff back on board when there's pretty heavy rewrites, because you've got to go back to the drawing board for quite a substantial amount of stuff. You don't get pre-production staff for just a quick, I just got to quickly change this scene. You just don't do that. Like, that's not what you do at all. So yeah, you would have had to have test screenings by this point. But then they continue, and he continues this. So Mangold was then approached by Suntory Peach, who shared a report from entertainment news outlet World of Real. Never heard of them. Regarding the film's supposed torch passing ending, and asked, any comment on this, awful if true? And this is the thing, any comment on this, Indiana Jones 5 test screenings have been disastrous. One of the endings, which was said to be the least popular one, and just the statement again, had Phoebe Waller-Bridge replacing Harrison Ford, blah, blah, blah. Awful if true. And says, his statement says, but not true. So not awful is what he said. And then Mangold closed out his time addressing the topic by acknowledging Wedge and Tilly's response of, "No, but you're wrong. Basement Dweller 46 said that KK personally replaces Indiana Jones with a woman in the movie, and test screening audiences hate it." I mean, it's quite a funny dig, to be fair. Not gonna lie. And then it's funny as well because Mangold misses the sarcasm basically and says, "Well, Paulo, it's up to you who you believe, an anonymous troll named Basement Dweller and Doomcock, or the actual director of the film."
That's the problem right there.
Go ahead. Yeah.
He didn't have to mention Doomcock. Doomcock didn't tag him.
Yeah.
Nobody
Well,
said
yeah.
shit about Doomcock.
Yeah. Getting under his skin a little bit, I guess.
Oh,
very much
absolutely,
so.
positively.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
that
says,
was his big mistake.
The other day we were talking about, because I think Culture had brought up something about the trailer being attached to Strange Worlds, and then afterwards, somebody I do know who's kind of close to Disney, let's say, who I hear from once in a great fucking while, just popped up and happened to say, no, it's supposed to be attached to Avatar. So that's
Yeah,
what
that
I've
makes
heard, is that
sense.
we're going to get a trailer for Indy with Avatar. So
It makes sense that it would be with Avatar. I mean, why would
in
you
that
do
case, that
Avatar?
would also support there's probably been at least screenings of scenes, if not a full screening.
Yes. I mean, there would have been a screening. You'd have to have a screening by now, for goodness sake. But he does say further, and this is where I think, you know, if true, he's talked himself into a massive hole, and it just loses all credibility moving forwards completely, because it's like, you know, no one will replace Indiana Jones, including the director, not in any script, not in any cut, never discussed. Now the thing is, with his wording, it could be relaying back to what I know about the end of this film, but this was pre-reshoots. So I know someone that worked on this film pre-reshoots. And I said, look, hey, there's this rumor floating around that it's going to get replaced at the end of the movie. And the individual did say, look, it's left open to a continuation with another character. But there's not an out-and-out replacement.
Basically a spin-off.
Basically a spin-off. So it could, like, and the thing is with Doomcock's wording is he might be being overly theatrical with it. It gets replaced, you know, all that kind of nonsense. Whereas realistically, what it could be, and what Mangold is being very direct in saying, you know, is that no one actually gets replaced. But he's obviously missing out the context of, but they're set up for a spin-off. You know?
There's basically a passing of the torch, whether it's ambiguous or not, is the point.
Yeah.
And it's a very unearned passing of the torch, let's say. And that's
Well,
what I think is.
I've heard it's not ambiguous. I've heard it's pretty obvious.
Well, if it's even obvious, it's really going to rub people the wrong way, is what I'm saying. Yeah.
You know what this is?
Yeah.
This thing right here with Mangold, he just walked into his own Kevin Smith Clownfish TV moment.
More or less.
Yeah.
Where he denied something. He denied
that
a
was
story
mad, wasn't it, Kevin?
that was completely and utterly true in every single detail, and he made himself a liar when he denied it, and he lost all credibility with fans forever. I think that's what Mangold just did here.
Yeah.
This tweet right here, I'm glad someone caught it, because he's going to delete that eventually, but let it live in infamy when the movie comes out. Because, and you have to keep in mind, he's not under no obligation to tell the truth to anyone. He can lie as much as he wants, and he can justify it with, that's his job as director, to sell the movie.
Yeah. Well, how did Kevin Smith justify it in the end? I can't remember. Did he not?
Oh, he did justify it. He was like, well, technically he is in every episode because there's a flashback.
Yeah.
And he doesn't die because he comes back again.
No, but he's basically copped to it and then made fun of the situation, which means he's fully aware of what he's done.
Yeah.
He comes back, but then he dies again.
Yeah,
because he made that big whole crack about, you want to introduce a character just to kill him again. I'm the guy to come to.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you not hear the irony in your like you just sound like such a sorry.
No, God. I mean, I really hope Mangold hasn't done this. I really, because Mangold's made some good movies. You know, he's done some decent stuff, and I quite like him as a director. He's not bad. He's made obviously some bad things for sure, but he's also made some films that I genuinely really, really, really like. So it'll be interesting to see, and I wonder as well whether they've left it open for a spin-off simply because, you know, Disney and things like that are testing the water. You know, I mean, we talk about this pendulum swinging backwards and forwards and things like that. You know, the message is being shoved down everyone's throat. Everything's being homogenized to, you know, feminine power, you know, pussy power, all this kind of stuff. And I did just say that. Yeah, I said pussy power. All right, fuck off. So I'm G and all that. But I wonder if they've left it open. I'm not G at all. So they can test the water and say, "Oh, this is working as a business model." Oh, no, it's not. Shit. We'll chuck a guy in there eventually. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe it's that. That's me being hopeful, obviously. But I wonder, like, what do you guys think? Because obviously everything is becoming so homogenous, but the pendulum has to swing so far, it comes back, right? Hopefully, please.
Here's like the thing. Well, the pendulum, were it left to natural devices, would never have swung this so far in the all girls rule direction in the first place. And it's artificially being held where it is. And of course, that means that when it naturally does revert, when it does shift, it's going to shift really hard and really brutal, because this is not something that audiences want. But because of the artificial upholding, it's going to be a little bit mixed. Some places are going to follow the market and do what the market wants, whereas others who are not fully beholden to the market are going to keep doing what they want for purely ideological purposes. And that's very much so the case with Lucasfilm. Kathleen Kennedy knows what she wants to do. She has some backers in the Disney system that wants that as well, namely the companies that I alluded to that don't want dividends from Disney directly. They want messaging to further the ESG across the spectrum. And they're very happy to take a loss on their Disney investments for that. But then you have all the other Disney investors who actually are in it for the money. So then you have kind of like a conflict. But then when you have like ideologues like Miss Kennedy and Lucasfilm, doesn't matter what the market wants. She's going to do something girl power and take out another man. That's exactly what's going to happen. Just like with what's going on with Marvel right now. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think that this is going to be portrayed as the best indie movie since Raiders. Like when it comes out, that's
God, you know it as well.
Yeah, this is going to be the best movie since Raiders. You know, Phoebe Waller-Bridge is fantastic. You know, and if you don't have a problem with it, then you're a sexist incel. You know,
Kevin Smith is already crying.
I'm already a sexist incel, so whatever.
Yeah,
he's already crying, taking pictures. He's getting ready for the premiere.
Yeah, that's gonna be the marketing strategy for this thing. Like we've seen this 100,000 times, and there's gonna be, you know, the SJWs out there that are gonna be going on Twitter, you know, defending this crap, you know, for their social justice BS.
You guys don't like it just because of Phoebe Waller-Bridge. You're misogynistic.
And the critics are cowards. You know, when there's an agenda movie coming out, they're not going to take a stand against it. They're going to be praising it.
They just did it with Wakanda Forever. They literally just did it with Wakanda Forever. They're like, oh, you know, feels a bit disjointed. Certified fresh. You're like, how's that a fucking positive review, you dipshit?
Yeah.
Like, what? You said it's disjointed.
Yet they gave the exact same reviews to Black Adam, and then it's negative.
Right.
Because it all has to do with the politics.
Yeah. Indiana Jones ended with The Last Crusade.
Yep.
Well, I think Spielberg checked out then, too, if you watched the last one anyhow. But that's the thing, is everybody's going to be... This is going to be The Last Jedi all over again, right?
Oh, for sure.
Because you're going to have everybody going, what the fuck? Yeah, Phoebe Waller-Bridge is a problem, and passing the torch to her is a problem. But the bigger problem is you got fucking time travel in Indiana Jones. You got a 90-year-old running around playing Indiana Jones. You've got great to see all these cameos, but they feel ham-fisted. That's what everybody's going to start saying. And then chances are, I don't know if I believe they kill him or not at the end, but you know what? Let's just say they do because they did to Bond, right? And Logan and all that shit. So like, chances are they're going to kill him at the end of the fucking movie. He may not get erased from history like the original plan was or whatever that was being reported, but you watch, he'll sacrifice himself in some way. So like,
that's
yes,
gonna piss so many people off.
that's where I said it's going to be just like The Last Jedi all over again.
Yeah. You know, whenever these things happen now, I just end up rolling my eyes and just go, "Oh, of course this is like, of course this is, of course they're saying this, of course it is." You know, oh yeah, of course. And
You're going to have that small group, like with The Last Jedi as well, that are going to be sticking up for this movie, going, "Well, it was better than Crystal Skull. You got this character and that character back, and blah 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 blah."
Yeah, and there were like, Nazis in it.
Yeah, like you member Barry motherfuckers. Just
yeah.
Sorry, Nate, you were gonna make another point there, but yeah.
Well, it wasn't because I just froze again because apparently the weather is really bitching out my connection today. Jesus, it's so bad. Like an excellent whatever. Never mind. Yeah, it just is that of course moment, you know. And it's almost like there's an air of naivety now to people that I guess presume otherwise. And I get it because, you know, I do it as well. Like I have some hope for some things. I'm like, yeah, I think it'll be good. Yeah, you know. And yeah, and you wanna be positive for some stuff. But then yeah, some stuff it just comes out and you're like, yeah, fucking goddamn. Egg on my face. Why did I have confidence in this? Why?
It would be nice if once this crashes and burns, they hired the animator that from YouTube that did the Indiana Jones animation. And let him.
That's what I kept saying they should do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they've also said that this prequel TV series is now going to be based around Indy's mentor, Abnor, or something like that.
Oh, Abner.
Yeah, because he's the guy that
Marion's father,
Marion's dad, but we've never only seen him once in the movies, and most people don't realize it. He's the guy that gave Indy his hat.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
that's who that is.
Oh, in the beginning of the third
Last Crusade. Yep.
Oh, I did not know that. I did not know that.
Yeah.
And then they had him played by John Hurt in Crystal Skull.
No, actually, I think that's a different character, isn't it?
No, that was Abner Ravenwood.
Was it?
Yeah, that was Marion's dad.
Are you sure?
Thought it was.
Anyway, whilst you two are arguing about that, I think Andre needs to drop out here.
Yeah, so just want to say thanks for having me and have a great rest of the stream.
See you, Andre.
Thank you for joining, buddy. We'll catch you again next week, hopefully.
Yeah, bye.
No, he's Professor Oxley. That's what I thought.
Oh, is it?
Raven, yeah, he's dead already. That's the whole thing. Is he sacrificed himself? Yeah.
Got it.
Oh, what complete shit.
You're forgiven because Crystal Skull's whole fucking thing.
I forgot the whole movie. What do you want?
As fuck.
I think I've seen Crystal Skull twice in my lifetime, and the last time was 10 years ago.
Oh, I got myself way too amped up for that, and I was overly disappointed.
Yeah, same.
Oh dear. I think that wraps it up, really. Unless has anyone else got anything they want to sort of cover, throw in the hat now that we've got you all here? So I think I get you
guys.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear about Namor's Lala?
What?
But not.
Namor's Lala.
What you want about?
A Lala is Portuguese slang for a man's penis. Did you hear about Namor's Lala?
Did I hear? Why would I?
Why is anyone talking about Namor's fucking?
Is that real?
Well, they took away his manhood.
Oh my God!
I'm not talking about the clipping of the wings. I'm talking literally.
Right. What is this?
Let me show you.
Spit it out.
You got the picture? Okay.
Well, I got a little
pictures.
Oh,
no.
I got a little. No. It's.
Oh, yeah, it's fine. Is it?
Movie.
Oh, is it? Oh,
like
that means it's fine.
No. Like you'll see what I mean. Hold on.
Oh,
I don't want to see.
It's got to be a joke.
It's
No,
funny.
it's fine. We'll have a
Please
look.
tell me.
No, don't, do you want to see it or not?
I've loaded it up now. What's
Wait,
this?
so what?
Oh yeah, who was that? Yeah, there you go.
Zoom in.
So that's his la before. And
Oh,
then-
is that the Smurf Latinos?
No, dude, look at his package. And then look
Oh,
at the package.
yeah. Okay. I see now. I wasn't even going there. Looking at it, I completely missed
Paulie's
that.
just straight in there.
Look at the penis.
Look at his
I was
package.
like, no, mate. We talk about it. Look at his schlong.
Look at his schlong. And then when Kevin
Oh my
Feige
God.
says we'll cut
They
that in
digitally
post,
edited out his junk. Is that what you're
his
telling me?
la-la. His
Are
la.
you joking me? Why'd you put tight trunks on him if you're
La,
going to do
right?
that?
It's a la.
Wow.
Oh my God.
I wanted to save this for the end. Hello. Hi.
Why would you do that though? Like, one of the things that they were adamant about was having him in the green shorts. You put him in the green shorts, you're like, whoa, that's too manly for me. Like, what?
Exactly.
Well,
It's
look at
too
what they
much.
did to Letitia right at the end of the
hell.
movie. They made her look like a boy. They made her look like a 12-year-old
Yeah.
boy. I mean, the hair was like a boy's hair, flat as a bean pole, putting her in that suit. She's a very pretty girl, and they made her look terrible. Same thing here with Namor. We cannot we cannot have any distinction between the genders, I guess. Everything has to
fairness-
be sexually ambiguous.
In fairness,
So
this
here's
is
a little
good
short
film,
I did.
all right?
But it's basically I was reading this comment.
Wait.
You
Share it on share it,
Okay,
and
hold
we'll
on.
listen to it. I mean, I understand why they did, but why have him in the bloody shorts in the first place? Do you know what I mean?
That's what's so weird.
Don't have him in the shorts if you're going to be like, whoa, can't have that. It's too much
there it
schlong.
is. All right.
Oh
here we
my God,
go.
you zoomed in, Paulie. What you did?
There we go.
Holy
See,
mate.
La la.
Oh my God.
Namor, Namor, Sin Amor, Sin La La. Let this be a fair warning
That's the
to all
exact
you
same
men out
picture.
there. Do not let the MCU cut off your La La in post in any situation. They literally took this too far.
And thanks for joining us today, folks. We appreciate you looking at penises at the end.
Oh
We weren't
my
looking
God.
at penises. It wasn't penises. It was
Just
is-
la la.
It
Yeah.
is
I'll
my,
tell you what.
listen, Nate. It's my journalistic coverage.
Oh, is it?
Oh, it's my coverage of Namor and Wakanda Forever.
Speaking of coverage,
We-
those green
we've
shorts, how about
already
that?
Oh, someone wanted me to go like this. Oh,
But I
sad,
think
whiplash.
I think I think this adds new context to the phrase "La La Land," doesn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Lolo.
Hollywood's full of dicks. La La Land.
So not only did they figuratively, but they literally cut the man's package off.
I can't believe they did. I mean, I can believe. Well, no, don't put him in the shorts. That's a risk. It's a risk.
Yeah,
You put him in shorts.
yeah.
Why'd you put him in the shorts? Could you imagine
Yeah.
being there and
Is that
like,
really
look,
money that needs to be spent though? Like here, let's look at this
Well,
for a minute.
The porn
How
box
much
just showed
money
up.
did it cost
Perfect
to
Right on
give Namor less
oh,
caca?
Well, now we know why the budget was $250.
Caca, la la.
time. What are you?
Whatever the
talking
hell
about,
it's
Tom?
called.
La la.
His
Lol.
junk.
LOLO.
Jesus. Oh my
Anyways.
God.
I thought that'd
Probably
be
a lot of money. Probably a lot of money. But I think as well, oh my God. Fucking
Subscribe to
hell.
the Slant. We cover Latino packages.
There is probably a channel that does that, and it's probably blown up.
There
I'm sure.
probably is. It's probably very
Yeah.
profitable. Yeah.
Oh,
Valiant,
Jesus.
Yeah, Valiant. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
On that incredible note, I've just got to say, because I didn't say it as everyone came in, everyone's channel is in the description box. Please do go and check them out. Please do support them. Literally everyone's channel is in the description box. I got a super chat just dropped in from Pedro
Yes.
Neves. Says, be honest, you showed the La So you didn't suffer alone. How did we get here? Is that right, Paula? is that right?
You know, I do it for the clicks.
I bet you do. Can you imagine being the editor that had to do that? You get a call from Ryan Coogler and they're like, so got a special job for you. Yeah, I know what. Yeah, man. Yeah, happy to help. I'm so glad I got this job on Wakanda Forever. So very important. Yeah. You know Namor. Yeah, no, not Namor. Yeah, Namor. You changed the name. Yeah, Namor. Yeah. So we put them in these green trunks. You can see it. I've sent you the dailies. Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Skin tight ones.
Yeah. We need you to edit his dick out.
Oh.
Sorry, what?
So what?
We need you to edit his dick out.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
What?
Oh God.
For real?
For real.
Fucking hell. God.
It would have been cheaper if they would have just told him to do a
tuck
in.
I'm sure. I mean, Disney's full blown LGBTQ. I'm sure there's someone there that'll be able to teach him how to tuck. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Jesus.
We already have experts on staff.
I would be curious to see the budget on that, on how much money it cost them to edit out any bulge shots.
Okay, was
in
it
that
more or
movie.
less than Cavill's mustache? That was $25 million.
Oh, it's got to be less.
It's got to be,
more.
yeah. But even
You
$5
say
million.
that.
Yeah.
You say that. I mean,
Even $5 million. You spent, what did they spend? $5 million. They spent $2 million doing it. $1 million. You spent $1 million digitally editing out the dude's dick.
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane, isn't it? Absolute insanity.
I guess
it gives the diversity department and an actual job for a change. They're like, right, job for the diversity department. Perfect. We're coming down here. This is how you tuck no more. This is how you do it, mate.
I mean,
fucking hell. It's the only department that be able to teach him.
It kind of, yeah. The package is very, very non-vocal.
I don't know, Paulie. What? Sorry, what?
No. The package is just too macho for them. It's too macho.
Yeah,
it's too
manly.
It's too BMW. Big Mexican wiener. It's just too much.
Right. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, man.
Jesus.
Holler.
I got nothing.
How do I?
How do you follow up from that?
I hope I return. I hope Nate asked me to come back.
So next week's stream, Jesus, right? Anyway, thanks. I'm glad that was at the end. I don't know, quite sure how I'd be able to continue the stream with that looming over us.
I was waiting for it.
I bet you were. I see the zoom ins, mate. I see the zoom ins on that little short.
Hey, chicks dig the zoom ins.
Do they?
Yep, they dig the law.
Oh my God.
Wait, I was just gonna say someone's name, and I'm not gonna. Another YouTuber. No.
Oh, dude.
Right. YouTuber. But anyways, yeah. I mean, they find Namor. They find Tenoch to be rather handsome. So I'm like, why did they take out that package?
Too much.
Why did they take that? Yeah.
Jesus. Right. So, everyone, great way to end the stream. Everyone's channels are linked down below. What have you all got coming up? Quickly, fire it off. Paula, you got anything coming up? Yes, no.
No.
Nick, yes, no.
I just got my system reloaded today,
Amazing.
so we'll probably have some actual content come out.
The Saturday night live stream on Ecobase.
Saturday night live stream.
There you
I gotta find a co-host for the Saturday night because Coach is out. But yeah, the Saturday night at 7.
Midnight's Edge, Mr. Star Wars himself.
I might be around actually. Send me a message. I might be around.
All right, yeah.
I have a stream coming up in roughly a half hour
you
if I
doing
can
it?
make it that long. Yeah, I'm gonna
Wow.
try it. Since I showed up here, it's kind of silly of me not to.
So
You know.
silly.
It's kind of like
for
not
those who
showing
don't
up to
know-
school, but then showing up to your friend's house to hang out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For
Your
those that
parents
don't
are
know,
not gonna be too happy about that.
Tom's voice is breaking. He's reached
Yeah,
puberty.
man.
Everyone, so.
That's why I got great guys to help me out usually. So we'll see
Mm.
how well that turns out.
Did you
Valiant the dude.
I'm sure I will be pissing in more cornflakes of more trolls that hate my Wakanda Forever box office videos, but I
saw
appreciate
that.
them watching. All 25,000 of you dumbasses keep coming back. No, most of them are my good people, but there's some good trolls in there, man. They're cracking me up. They can't stand the fact this movie is struggling after that opening weekend, and it's I think it's gonna get worse. So.
Yeah,
And you're loving it. I know you are.
Well, it's hilarious.
This weekend all the white people can go, so it's probably gonna get a big bump.
So no one's gonna go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, here's a
that's true. Yeah,
tidbit. I haven't put this out yet, but the largest single audience, this was buried in an article last week, some information from intelligence. 32%, the largest demographic group, women over 25 went to see that. It's a 50% rise from the first Black Panther movie, yet they sold about 35% fewer tickets. I wonder why. It's not that the women suddenly showed up, it's that the men stayed home.
Yeah.
Totally believe that.
Especially
Yeah,
the
got no
Black
reason to
Panthers,
show
they
up
stayed
for this
home.
movie.
Yeah.
I got no
And
reason
we
to
know
show
what
up for this
happens
movie.
when Namor rises.
Oh, we got past that. We're not going back to that. No.
Anyway, ladies and gents, please do follow me over on Twitter at MrHReviews. It's been just so special. Thank you all for watching. Join me live Tuesday and Thursdays. Not generally a shit show like this, but you know, sometimes maybe. And subscribe to the second channel linked in the description box. From me and everyone else, peace.